to sunny WGPA.
A little boogie woogie, a little rock and roll, a little boogie woogie, good for your soul. I never have the blues, I never have time. A little boogie woogie just suits me fine. Don't let the blues get you, don't let them bring you down. Put on your dancing shoes and head right downtown. A little boogie woogie, a little rock and roll, a little boogie woogie, good for your soul. I never have the blues, I never have time. A little boogie woogie just suits me fine. Don't let the blues get you, don't let them bring you down. Put on your dancing shoes and head right downtown. A little boogie woogie, a little rock and roll, a little boogie woogie, good for your soul. I never have the blues, I never have time. A little boogie woogie just suits me fine. They say it's the devil's music, I don't believe that at all. The devil makes you suffer, boogie and you have a ball. A little boogie woogie, a little rock and roll, a little boogie woogie, good for your soul. I never have the blues, I never have time. A little boogie woogie just suits me fine.
Our warmest welcome from the Falk Funeral Homes and Crematory. We offer peace of mind during a difficult time, helping you plan with a personal touch, comforting you with a grief support program. The Falk Funeral Home is here for you and your family for pre-planning, and we're here in your time of loss. Call us anytime, day or night. We are independently owned and offer complete funeral and cremation services. Let the Falk family look after your family. Affordable and dignified with no hidden fees. Personal service begins with just one call. Call today with two locations, 1418 Main Street, Hellertown, PA, 610-838-9191, and 163 Main Street, Pennsburg, PA, 215-679-5933. Or please visit us on the web at falkfuneralhomes.com. Our motto is, if it's important to you, it's important to us. And this is something that we truly apply to every family we serve.
WGPA remembers 1957.
Heaven help me if I am wrong. I've been loving her so long until my love for her has grown unbearably strong.
Hey, man, keep that doo-wop coming. Thanks.
Back to 1956.
I'd cry for you, sigh for you. I'd even go as far as to die for you. But I won't have you breaking my heart. I'd live the life of a beggar and thief. I'd give my right arm just to have your relief. But I won't have you breaking my heart. And now that we're apart, I'll leave you my heart. Although it makes me so blue, someday I'll come back to you. I'd give you the world, I'd let you have your way. I'd die tomorrow, live forever and a day. But I won't have you breaking my
You are listening to the one and only all-Ameripolitan music radio station, radio as it should be, Sunny 1100 WGPA AM and 98.5 FM in Bethlehem, PA.
It's 5:30.
This is the WGPA Sunny 1100 AccuWeather forecast. Overnight, mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm with a low 60. Monday, intervals of sun and clouds with a few morning showers, followed by a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon with a high 78. Tuesday, a morning shower with a high 76. Plan with confidence. Download the redesigned AccuWeather app today. For WGPA Sunny 1100, I'm AccuWeather's Gregory Patrick.
It's 82 degrees. with 50% humidity.
If you are feeling down in the dumps, are having trouble sleeping, or feel anxious, there is nothing to be ashamed about. Addressing mental health symptoms early and getting the right care can put you on a path towards overall health. St. Luke's Behavioral Health Services can help you get on that path. Call 866 St. Luke's. That's 866 St. Luke's for an appointment. That's 866 ST Luke's. St. Luke's Behavioral Health Services, because good mental health is good health.
Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology. Don't know much about a science book. Don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. Don't know much about geography. Don't know much trigonometry. Don't know much about algebra. Don't know what a slide rule is for. But I do know 1 and 1 is 2. And if this one could be with you, what a wonderful world this would be. Now, I don't claim to be an A student, but I'm trying to be. For maybe by being an A student, baby, I can win your love for me. Don't know much about history. Don't know much biology. Don't know much about a science book. Don't know much about the French I took. But I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be. La ta 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 ta. History. Biology. Well, la ta 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 ta. Science book. French I took. Yeah, but I do know that I love you. And I know that if you love me too, what a wonderful world this would be.
Got an old car? You can donate it, whether it's running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation and save a life. They'll even come and pick it up for free. The United Breast Cancer Foundation has saved hundreds of women's lives through their free or low-cost breast screen exams. But now they need your help. The United Breast Cancer Foundation wants to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And donating your old car, SUV, or truck, whether it's running or not, helps pay for them. Plus, you get a charitable tax deduction. Help the United Breast Cancer Foundation save lives by donating your old car, SUV, or truck. Call now for free pickup. 800-245-0832. 800-245-0832. 800-245-0832. Call right now. That number again is 800-245-0832.
Just keeps haunting you, and you think
Ameripolitans, there are some great talent that you have chosen, and we are listening. And we counted up the votes, and we got the final nominees. And thank you again for all your help. Thank you all.
I've got to tell you, I've been racking my brain, hoping to find a way out. I've had enough of this continual rain. Changes are coming, no doubt.
This is a Radio Road Test Minute. Our Miles and Kia Sorento SUV. I'm Paul Kaminsky, MSRPK.com. Kia's done well in J.D. Power rankings for initial quality. Their Sorento crossover slots in between their top-of-line Telluride and the Sportage. The all-wheel drive SX features an 8-speed transmission and turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with a 0 to 60 time of 6.5 seconds in traffic condition. That's enough to get up to speed in a small merge lane. The Sorento has Kia's full suite of safety tech, which includes features like lane keeping and lane following assistance, adaptive cruise control, and forward collision avoidance for pedestrians and bicyclists. Navigation standard on the SX trim level. EPA test numbers, 21 city, 28 highway. Sticker price for the well-equipped Kia Sorento SX, $44,285. Hear the full test, soundcloud.com/Radio Road Test. I'm Paul Kaminsky, MSRPK.com. Now this.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1823. 855-325-1823. That's 855-325-1823.
Here's the latest from the 69 News Traffic Center. Traffic's moving accident-free in the Lehigh Valley on 22 and 78. Berks County Jefferson Township accident has 183 closed both directions between Charlottesville Road and New Schaeferstown Road. Accident-free in Schuylkill County on 209 and 309. Carbon County on 248 and 443 and on the Turnpike. The 69 News Traffic Center tip line is 610-820-1111. I'm Jeff Bolden in the 69 News Traffic Center.
Bellissima Beauty Supply in Allentown takes this time to thank our first responders, doctors, nurses, and all essential workers. Our heroes who had the courage to run towards danger when our lives took a shift. As we get back to normal, let's remember to support our local businesses and keep them afloat. This message from Bellissima Beauty Supply at 128 North 8th Street in Allentown. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call 610-433-3900. That's 433-3900. Bellissima Beauty Supply.
Queen's Nutritional Products carries a complete line of vitamins, herbs, minerals, health and beauty products, and so much more. Queen's has low prices, wide selection, friendly service, and quality products.
This week's specials include raw pecans, $7.95 a pound, dried cranberries, $3.99 a pound, roasted salted and non-salted peanuts, $2.99 a pound, dried apricots, $3.99 a pound. This week's organic items by the pound include raw pecans for $12.95, $4.95. Dried pineapple for $5.99 per 8 ounce. Date sugar $4.99. Popcorn $3.99 per 2 pounds. And these sales are good now through June 25th while supplies last. Curamen and Curamed, Prevegan, Queens, and Life Extension products are 20% off regular retail prices every day. Find us on the website www.queensnutrition.net.
So stop by Queens Nutritional Products, 1450 Pennsylvania Avenue in Allentown, or call 610-691-6644. That's 610-691-6644.
Don't sit behind a desk every day to earn a living. You're out and about making it happen. And sometimes you get a little bit behind on your paperwork, like bookkeeping and paying your taxes. It's easy to get behind on paying your taxes. It happens to the best of us. And you know what happens next. The big bad IRS comes knocking on your door. And when that happens, you need to call the good old boys at the Tax Doctor. Let them do what they do best. Deal and negotiate with the IRS so you pay the lowest you can in back taxes that the law allows. We are a 100% U.S.-based company, and we've saved our clients millions over the years in back taxes. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call my friends right now at the Tax Doctor and learn more.
800-281-7048. 800-281-7048. 800-281-7048. That's 800-281-7048.
Glory is the banner we pledge allegiance to.
and you're listening to my favorite Ameripolitan station, WGPA in Bethlehem.
It's 6 o'clock.
That's right. We are joined another fine year, 2021, the Easton Area Graduation. And let's go live to Michael Ventola and Jack Logic, who's out there at the Easton Area High School right now.
Thank you very much, Chris, and a very pleasant good evening to each and every one of you, wherever you may be. It is the 156th commencement here at Easton Area High School. The class of 2021 set to get their diplomas here tonight. And we are just above the turf field here at Easton Area High School alongside Jack Logic, Mike Ventola with you. And Jack, a special night for these kids, a chance to graduate in a different way here in 2021.
Yes, the last 15 months of their life have been upside down, and it's going to be upside tonight, hopefully.
Yeah, certainly, and it is going to be a nice night. There are going to be many speeches, some great musical performances, things that come to a high school graduation as we're so accustomed to over the years, but another year of drive-through style graduation to at least get the commencement underway here in 2021. We are certainly excited to be here, but at this time, I know many are excited for this graduation to get underway. And let's get it started by, of course, like every graduation, with pomp and circumstance.
Good evening. My name is Kyle Geiger, and I am the principal of Easton Area High School. It is my honor to welcome you to the 165th commencement ceremony. Tonight, we graduate the nearly 700 students that make up the class of 2021. Like many of their peers, these soon-to-be graduates have navigated an unconventional path to arrive at this important event in their lives. We honor their perseverance and determination as they endured the many challenges and disappointments brought about by a global pandemic. We hope that tonight's events are a small indication of our admiration for the class of 2021. We are confident that despite the obstacles you faced, you are ready to take the next steps on your journey. I'd be remiss not to recognize and thank the amazing Easton Area High School teaching staff and the numerous Easton Area School District employees volunteering this evening to make this a memorable event for the class of 2021. We are extremely thankful for your assistance and very happy that you are able to celebrate with us tonight. I I greatly appreciate the assistance of each of the 4 municipalities we are working with this evening and have made this event possible. Law enforcement and local government leadership from Forks Township, Easton, Wilson, and Palmer Township have been extremely accommodating, and they have done so without hesitation. We thank you for your partnership and dedication to the community. Rovers, we hope that you enjoy the sights, sounds, and community support as you participate in tonight's commencement event. We wish you nothing but the best as we celebrate you and your accomplishments.
system is a work of genius. I couldn't undo it if I tried. And I tried. He took our country from bankruptcy to prosperity. I hate to admit it, but he doesn't get enough credit for all the credit he gave us.
Every other founding father's story gets told. Every other founding father gets to grow old. And when you're gone, who remembers your name? Who keeps your flame? Who tells your story? Who tells your story? Who tells your story?
I put myself back in the narrative. I stopped wasting time on tears. I live another 50 years. It's not enough. I interview every soldier who fought by your side. I try to make sense of your thousands of pages of writings. You really do write like you're running out of time. Just tell your story. And I show you what I'm proudest of. I established the first private orphanage in New York City. I helped to raise hundreds of children. I get to see them growing up. In their eyes I see you, Alexander. I see you every time. My time is up. Have I done enough? Will you tell my story? Oh, I can't wait to see you again. It's only a matter of time.
As the superintendent of the Easton Area School District, I do hereby certify to the president of the board and his fellow board members that these seniors have met all requirements and fulfilled all obligations prescribed by the school district and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Therefore, on behalf of the administration and faculty, I testify to their eligibility for their high school diploma. Mr. Shando, the class of 2021 is ready to graduate.
Thank you, Mr. Pipperato. On behalf of the Easton Area School District Board of Education, let me congratulate the senior class and also the parents, family members, and staff who have assisted so greatly in the accomplishments of these young people. Mr. Geiger, you may proceed with the awarding of diplomas to the class of 2021. Congratulations to each of you.
Hey, this is Dave Alvin, and right this second you are listening to WGPA, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Sunny1100.com.
I can't believe what I saw when I visited the new College Hill Tavern operated by brothers John and Maynard Melham. There's a wide, open, and bright surroundings when you arrive. 3 widescreen TVs, and you'll soon find out there's a great menu from their specialty half-pound burgers, their pulled pork, and their chicken specialties. Both wings, regular and boneless, and their homemade chicken fingers. Also, their delicious flatbread pizzas, nachos, quesadillas, homemade French onion soup, and their great daily entrees. Executive Chef Bill Pillar does it all, as he has his limited breakfast menu too. College Hill Tavern is open 7 days a week, opening at 11 a.m. daily until 2 a.m., and their kitchen is open until midnight. Nazareth Beverage Center is located at 56 South Street off Route 191 in Nazareth. The proprietors, Terry and Don Picone, are big supporters of Nazareth sports. Their beverage store specializes in drive-through service, making it easy for you to get your favorite beverage without getting out of your car. Speaking of beverages, they have them all, featuring your favorite beer, soda.
Don't forget to stop in for your seltzer drinks.
They're open 7 days a week. They open at 9 a.m. Monday through Saturday, closing at 8 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday.
Sunday hours are 11 to 5.
Check out their website, NazarethBeverage.com. It's there you'll learn about their weekly specials, and you'll also learn about some fun facts about beer. So when you think sports, stop by Nazareth Beverage Center for your favorite beer.
Hello, it's me again, on my way to the airport. My wife and I are getting away for a little golf and sun. Or is it a lot of sun and a little golf? Well, I'm happy to just get away this time of year, but as I drive here on Route 248, I think about all the loose ends at work. One thing I don't have to worry about is my auto, home, and business insurance. That's because I let the Regal agency handle it all. They represent fine companies like Erie Insurance, and that takes the worry out of finding the right insurance that fits my needs. Regal Insurance is right here in the Lehigh Valley and has been since 1936. My grandfather trusted them, and I wouldn't want to trust my insurance to anyone else. With Regal, I get good rates, good coverage, and even a multi-policy discount. And there's always a friendly and helpful person on the other end of the phone. Thank goodness for Regal. No worries, just a history of excellent service. Regal Insurance. That's just like Eagle, but with an R. Hey, I wonder if they can insure a good golf game. Regal Insurance, 2912 William Penn Highway, Easton, and RegalINS.com, or 610-258-7216. Regal Insurance, for business, personal, for life.
Salvatore Sam Ruda, associate broker and manager of Berkshire Hathaway Homes, specialize in buying or selling homes in the Lehigh Valley. Sam's specialty is dealing with senior citizens and veterans. Sam's office is located at 145 South Main Street in Nazareth. You can reach Sam by calling his office at 610-737-2310. Remember, when it comes to selling or buying homes in the Lehigh Valley, Sam Ruda is the one to call at 610-737-2310. Right now, take advantage of the offer while Sam is giving a 1-year home warranty to anyone who lists or buys a home from him. So call now, 737-2310.
You're listening to WGPA Bethlehem, 1100, the sunny 1100 on your radio AM dial.
We're back at Eastern Area High School on 25th Street and William Penn Highway, along with Michael Ventola. And Michael, we want to thank the Eastern Area Educational Association for all they did, helping to sponsor this event.
No, they did a tremendous job, of course, like they did a year ago. And, Jack, I know for you and I, it's something we've been looking forward to as soon as we knew we were going to be back in this role here once again for a second straight year. But what a great night it's been for these kids so far. I'm sure they and their families driving around as they're eventually going to be making their way here to the grounds of Easton Area High School. But, Jack, I think as the young men and young women are making their way through, I'm sure they'd love to hear their names. Why don't I guess we start reading some names here of the class of 2021. So I'll get us going first. We have Abby Abelag, Michael Andres Acevedo, Charlene Acevedo Torres, Mariana Acevedo Vasquez, Ryan Brady Ackerman, Jason Anthony Acosta, Najee Micah Adams, Anthony Joseph Angeranzen, Karina Elizabeth Aguilar, John Paul Alanis, and Ashley Zidalit Ali.
And we have Ariana Felicia Allen, Caitlin Grace Allen, Daranaya Itopia Aline, Kevin Eduardo Elamars, Camila Denise Austin, Daniela Alvarez, Stephen Cristobal Amacha, Ryan Shea Amato, Ever Tercios Amaya, Alonia Leigh Anderson, and Monerset Esito Gonzalez.
Dominic James Apgar, Jonathan Xavier Anea Aurea, Juan Diego Arias, Justin Reed Aranon, Eric Joel Arroyo, Lydia Olwam-Palumumi Anuiol, Rebecca Marie Ioso Johnson, Ashley Akosua Before Danzo, Austin Joseph Balash, Hunter James Balch, and Liana Catherine Ball.
Okay, Victoria Elise Balukas, Regina Marie Bencaro, Alexandra James Barada, Madison Simone Barnes, Alexandra Vivian Barone, Sean Michael Bartholomew, Alexander Jose Batista, Haley Marie Bellis, Lindsay Danielle Bellis, Brianna Suzanne Bellis Elkert, Taylor Corinne Bennett.
Allison Joyce Burlett, Sarah Rose Blake, David John Bellinar III, Amelia Azuna Blanco, David Stephen Botiger, Sean Ali Bokhari, Jason Osai Banzu, Hania Jada Booker, Madison Elizabeth Borluca, and Joseph Pierre Charbel Budaiher.
Lillian Annette Bowen, Jamila Latoya Cher Bowens, Trinity Jean Bowles, Crystal Star Bowman, Joshua Joseph Brado, Caleb Joseph Brennan, Joshua Stephen Briggs, Alden Marie Bright, Jayla Melissa Bright, Blaze Dominic Bronico, and Ancia Louise Brown.
Blaze Lee Michael Brown, Destin Miguel Brown, Lindsay Nicole Brown, Makai Isaiah Brown, Valerie Sarai Brown, Chiron Isaiah Bryson, Desaya Lashonda Monique Buchanan, Brandon Matthew Buckman, Brennan Michael Burke, Cilio Isabel Cabanilla, and Toby Wolf Cadmus.
And we have Braden Michael Caffrey, Catherine Ann Caffrey, Giovanni Caron Cagle, Christopher Jacob Calderon Vasquez, Jonathan Thomas Cowles, Nea DeAngelis Calzada, Alex Gordon Cameron, Vincent Gino Camici, and Tanya Capos.
Page 2.
Yes, we have it.
Plenty more. Joel Michael Capaldi, Christopher Joseph Caputi, Joniah Cardenas, Kavan Amir Cardwell, Ania Maria Carrier, William Cariskillo Jr., Jasmine Ashley Carter, Bailey Christian Case, Liam Patrick Case, McKenna Marie Casterline, and Makai Dakari Castillo.
Frank Louis Castrovinci, Johanna Liseth Centeno Alvarado, U.J. Travis Chambers, Sullivan Adanye Chante Zapata, Tracy Kimberly Charles, Kylie Braden Shara, Ryan Chavez, Juan Alice Chavez, Melissa Shebby, Kevin David Chavez, and Joel David Shin Shu.
Irving Jael Chambo Gonzalez, Tanner James Sakali, Daniel Matthew Sachaki, Matthew Cintron, Asia Ricky Clark, Michael Andrew Clark, Christina Noel Clymer, Timothy Noel Kohlberg, Caitlin Alexandra Coleman, Jeremiah Unique Colazo, and Judah Daniel Collins.
Naira LaShawn Collins, Demaria Marie Colon, Isabella Pilar Columba, Mark Cullen Canby, Jack Logan Connor, Catherine Irene Ann Cornish, Brian DeCosta Correa, Gabrielle Elise Cortez, Raymond Luis Cosme, Nita Vanessa Cato, and Joseph McGuire Cortad.
Malachi Quasi Youssef Crandon, Jocelyn Elise Criazo, Kerry Ann Criazo, Drew Thomas Crossman, Haley Daphne Crosswell, Clancy Augustus Crozier, Ivalis Esther Cruz, Catherine Nicole Cruz Rodriguez, David Colhan Jr., Brandon Michael Kennard, and Jemiah Alexis Cunningham.
Francesco Giovanni Curto, Jordan James Cuvo, Samuel Matthew Cyphers, Sean Patrick DeMore, Emma Nicole DeAndrea, Haley Lynn D'Angelo, Alexander Keith Daggett, Asha Marie Daly, John Allen Daniel, Maya Imani Daniels, Derwin Caleb, Simone Davis,
Zariah Nicole Day, Omet de Jesus Gutierrez, Sebastian Yadiel de Jesus Negron, Naleli de Roman Ramos, Jenna Elizabeth Deegan, Dante Bartolo Di Francesco, Rachel Marie DiGiulio, Rebecca Jean DiGiulio, Destiny Elise DeLeon, Francis Blaze Delgado, and Oscar Renee Delgado.
Paula Nicole Delgado, Kaylee Danielle Delicio, Landon Thomas Depew, Nicholas John Depew, Anshua Diversachetete, Mayak Nima Deshawn, Shira Naima Diaz, Pamela Diaz, Eric Diaz Espanol, Fernando Diaz Espanol, and Connor Joseph Dickey.
Benjamin Johnson Diltz, Luke Russell Diltz, Nicholas Edward Ding, James Matthew Donovan, Bethany Elizabeth Dorsa, Ariana Nicole Dorsey, Emmanuel Gerald Duffus, Gavin Tanner Dunlap, Jenny Hoang Duong, Lorena de Los Angeles Duran, Colin James Earl, and Garrett Cole Ebner.
Noel Robert Ebner, Zachary Russell Ederson, Shauna Edwards, Teresa L. Halou, Clayton Scott Elkert, Mario John Embardino, Melody Luz Estevez, Anna Marina Estrada, Malia Diamond Fogg Davis, Owen Christopher Fairchild, Dominic Franklin Falcone,
Rachel R. Falero, Gabriel John Vashing, Nicholas Anthony Fazio, Zahira Almas Fernandez, Tanner Michael Ferraro, John Gaspari Ferretti, Nakwai Zadia Fersner, Eric Vincent Fialo, Christian William J. Fielding, Logan Patrick Fisher, and Kayvon Henry Pettigron Fitzpatrick.
Abigail Raquel Fontanez Suazo, Tia Leona Fonto, Autumn Cherise Ford, Hakeem Tiffany Ford, Gregory Vincent Fortunato, Ariana Regina Frank, Gianna Frederick, Juliana Elizabeth Friedman, and Derek Paul Frenzy.
Devin Richard Frenzy, Marie Heidi Fritz, Carly Lou Fry, Shoari Fuentes, Giselle Fuentes Flores, Douglas Wayner Gaines, Brendalise Galaraza, Robert Joseph Galazewski, Emily Houston Gallagher, Michael Galvez, Daniel Allison Gardner, Kiara Elizabeth Gargone,
Remy Adele Garhi, Haley Shalise Garin, Lauren Vanessa Garrido, Lindsay Dale Geiger, Christopher Daniel Gigorlis, Joshua Maurice Gerbado, Christopher Ming Ging, Hunter Riley Gifford, Stephen Harvest Gill, Harveer Singh Gill, Shalia Andriana Gill,
Colin Reeves Gillespie, Lucas John Gilliard, Anastasia Janet Gishel, Alexa Rose Glanz, Arthur James Godley, Ethan Scott Goldman, Isaiah Micaiah Goldsmith Toldens, Claudia Elizabeth Gonzalez, Isaiah Alexander Goodwin, Coyori Leanne Gordilis, and Brianna Ruth Gorey.
Francisco Rose Grassi, Emily Madison Grays, Kevin Joseph Griffon, Gina Marie Grimsby, Gabrielle Paul Groover, Jose Manuel Guerrero Vasquez, Melissa Sari Guido, Ryan Adrian Guion, Tanisha Gutierrez, Adra Lynn Guzman,
Aline Montserrat Guzman, Anastasia Marie Guzman, Race Tyler Hager, Brian E. Hall, Michael Gabriel Hall, Mariah Destiny Hamilton, Derek Richard Hammerstone, Monsieur Maurice Hammond Sharp, Krista Talisa Harford, Jamal Abdurrahmane Hargrove, and Sayer Eliano Hargrove.
Jalen Nasir Harris, Latrell Lindell Harris, Nathan Adam Haschak Jr., Colin Patrick Hay, Jolene Hay, Eric James Heaton, Jackson Ray Heimbach, Jackson Aaron Heinmeyer, Campbell Marie Heights, Omika Zararia, Kelly Henry, and Brian Hernandez.
Well, we can see and hear the cars making their way here now towards the high school. Jack, give you a moment to collect yourself. Jamila DeJandra Hernandez, Anani Hernandez Maza, Adam Patrick Hess, Jacob Elijah Hess, Christopher J.D. Huey, Michaela Kamoya Hibbert, Shaina Yamil Hidalgo, Jamili Hidalgo Lara, Ian Riley Higgins, Caleb Andresen Hinkle, and Thin Yanant Hilang.
Alan Gavin Ho, Brittany Jean Hoffman, Michaela Soraya Holmes, Elijah Ethan Horn, Gabrielle Claire Hummer, Avery Carr Hutchinson, Jocelyn Marie Ibarra, Augustus Salvatore Ireland, Isaiah Al Kwan Ismail, Lily Teresa Jokowitz, Elisa Marie Jackson,
James Charles Jackson, Tamir Rasheem Jackson Jr., Teonia Michelle Jackson, David Michael Jacob, Sophie Drew Jacobs, Dasha Jamie, Anthony Hermaine James, Frank Anthony Herades, Armando David Jimenez, Oscar Jimenez, and Kwasan Ra Mello John Parham.
Alyssa Christina Johnson, Jaden Stone Johnson, Shashan Rodney Johnson, Justin Michael Johnson, Olivia Lena Johnson, Sincere Sheriff Johnson. Wow, a lot of Johnsons here.
Yeah.
Joseph Jeremiah Jones, Kayla J. Jones, Samuel Allen Jones, Zion Micaiah Jones, and Emily Ann Jucham.
Paige Allison Kane, Jonathan Joseph Karam, Sarah Evelyn Katenis, Denise Kaur, Harneet Kaur, Jaden Anthony Kelly, Troy Amon Barber Kelly, Skylar Kelly, Kiana Imani Khan, Anthony Joseph Kluska, and Austin Lee Connect.
Jonathan Stephen Knez, Aiden Michael Contour, Catherine Georgette Corey, Felicity Elizabeth Kospet, Joseph Michael Kozak, Jahashari Krishana, Jordan Marie Kutza, Sarah Ann LaFleur, Richard Michael Lamb III, Jared James Lamb, Elena Marie Lambert,
Donovan Lee Lance, Hannah Marie Latin, Zachary William Lawler, Joseph James Lavalva III, Evan Tyler Lee, John Anthony Fabian Legaretta, Chloe Marie Lehman, Madison Ann Lettinger, Josie Antonio Lemus, Leo Jacob Leon Jr., and Jasim Tyreek Lassane.
Aiden Awan Lincoln, Alexander Kerr Linderman, Nanda Lila Lindsay, Jude Maverick Leo, Deanna Jalen Lister, Abigail Ray Victoria, Nadia Elise Lockhart, Tyza Janaya Long, Katrina Angela Lopez, Juliana Francis Lapillo, and Genesis Lowry.
Charles Richard Ludwig, Lisbeth Tatiana Lugo Castillo, Rebecca Regina Lynch, Dante Charles Mack, Terrence Maddox, Rodrigo Sebastian Maguina, Claudio Paolo Maguina Leon, Brennan Scott Maines, Valerie Malabet Arujo, Taha Malik, and Benjamin Brian Molina.
Zachary Jermaine Manoli, Marie Fernanda Marcelo, Elenia Christina Marino, Eve Alexandra Marina, Jaden Rafael Laban Marquez, Aria Anthony Morello, Jaden Elizabeth Martelucci, Cameron Scott Marth, Elnardo Martinez, Xavier Manuel Martinez, Maria Alteriga Martinez Perez,
Luke John Matthews, Lauren Marie Maynard, Stephanie Lynn Mazzeo, Caroline Louise McCadden, Reese Jackson McCann, Stephen Maximilian McDonald, Daniel Ryan McAvoy, Samantha Diane McGinley, Christopher Sean McKinnery, Darshawn Andres McMillan Jr., and Ryan Tellismall McNeil.
Malaysia Lynn Medina, Isis Elena Melendez, Maynard Dave Gregory Melham, Justin Mendoza, Marcel Mercado, Nicholas A. Mercado, Isabella Arden Casilla, Caitlin Deanne McKell, Mary Adele McKell, Dominic Marie Miller, and Eric Joseph Miller.
Julia Ann Miller, Michaela Elise Miller, Robert Joseph Miller, Emma Sage Mofo, Kayla Mora Matui, Owen Rafael Molina, Arlene Nicole Montes, Jack Mario Montes de Coa Suarez, Jesse Alexander Montesinos, Carly Marie Monto, and Douglas Ray Alfred Moody.
Kishawn Lerone Moore, Anthony Michael Morales, Jessica Esmeralda Morales, Pamela Moran Vidal, Jaden Nicholas Morris, Sage Amaya Morris, Timothy Howard Morris, Kayshawn Dwayne Morris Aiken, Sydney Ray Morrow, Victoria Grace Mogwad, and Diana Lucia Munoz.
The cars are really rolling in now, folks. Cars from all ages, shall we say. I think we saw a couple cars look like back in Jack's prime. Malike Murphy, Robin Shane Murphy Hins, Diane Deanna Murray, Carmine Dominica Mazmumexi, Dua Rani Nadim, Tyler Jaden Narcisse, Margaret Elizabeth Nash, Samuka Matharam Rakumani Niraj, Preston James Neff, Jabril Razir Elijah Nelson, and Jake Matthew Newman.
I was very pleased to graduate in the 20th century.
I know.
Jordan Elizabeth Newquist, Kara Kwan Najan, Julia B.G. Nigo, Armando Francesco Nicolosi, Lapret Sinj Nija, Diego Fernando Nivar, Sophia Rose Nowatsky, Catherine Amanda Nunez, Cameron Scott Nunez, Julian Thomas O'Brien, and Matthew Hugo Jadis.
Lauren Olivaria, Shalom Nima Olu, Stephen Andrew Olescusi Jr., Santiago Orizaco Sanchez, Emily Elizabeth Noke Ortega, Isaiah Jesus Ortiz, Jose Matthew Ortiz, Matthew Otero Feblis, Dominique Elizai Pacheco, Shadzad Albarazin Pada, and Desiree Mary Pagan.
Kelly Ann Painter, Malika Devante Powell, Alan Javant Palaku Cow, if I mispronounce, I'm sorry. Daru Pregne Patel, Maria Rocio Patino Flores, Keila Lo Pamas, Damian Pelucio, Jennifer Pena Lizardo, Brian Barry Pencil, and Brianna Perez.
Janelle Gracela Perez, Jorge Alberto Perez Jr., Lorelai Gail Perez, Marius Jordan Perez, Sean Paul Perez, Lindsay Allison Person, Ava Marie Peters, Jonah Jafia Pettis, Emily Huen Mai Pham, Asia Marie Pickenpack, and Faith Marion Margaret Pierce.
Pedro Benita Pinto, Isabel Teresa Pyro D'Alessio, Leanne Marie Piscatella, Deshaun Marcus Pointer, Savannah Vanessa Poole, Jaden Harold Pound, Nicole Antoinette Powell Moses, Sadie Marie Pendergrast, Max Pujols, Elizabeth Maria Purcell, Carson Quinn Peischer, Kaylee Ann Quinn,
Casey Allison Quinones, Jesse William Raber, Dilaraj Singh Rahal, Ashley Reyno, Laisha Giselle Ramos, Sebastian Wilfredo Ramos Paraga, Luke Dominic Rosso, Emma Elizabeth Robb, Jeffrey Philip Robb III, Justin James Roush, and Michaela Madalena Ryam.
Andrew Davidson Reagan, Kenneth Jared Racine, Logan Blaine Reeder, Isaiah Jamar Reiner, Lauren Ann Ringholz, Marion Ruslancia Reka, Shannon Nicole Repture, Jaden Reyes, Anthony Reyes Nevrez, Trey William Reinhardt,
Anthony Jahem Rich, Samuel Ian Rich, Logan Francis Royale, Kylie Lynn Reimer, Penelope Love Rios, Anton Kenneth Rivas, Jakai Rashan Rivera, Kevin Javier Rivera, Rahid Ray Anthony Roberson, Benjamin Michael Roberts, and Larry Antoine Roberts Jr.
We got 2 more minutes before we go to a break, Michael.
Yep.
Alicia Marie Rodriguez, Eric Isaac Rodriguez, Wally Giovanni Rodriguez, Gabriela Rodriguez Ortiz, Isaac Paul Rogers, Aiden Andrew Roman, Nicole Ryan Ramachan, Angelina Caroline Romero, Darwin Jose Vijaya Romero, Jessica Romero, and Dominic Antonio Rossi.
Isabella Antonio Rosa, Brent Nicholas Rosario, Jaline Flora Rosario, Janaya Lynn Rose, Tyler Joseph Ruggiero, Ty Robert Russell, Kylie Lynn Ruth, Haley Elizabeth Ryan, Talik Jamil Ryan, Jacob Francis Sojanis, and Alba Maria Sales.
And the last group before our break, Jasmine Salinas Dominguez, Nathan John Soloki, Harold Sanchez, Juan Carlos Sanchez, Xavier Elijah Sanchez, Celia Elenis Santana, Darun Jesus Santana Ramos, Jose Roberto Santiago Jr., Julia Rian Concepcion Santos, Cremuli Emil Santos Quasida, and Benjamin Edward Salchuk.
All right, Jack, all right. Members of the class of 2021 and their respective families, 165th commencement of Easton Area High School will continue along here on Sunny 1100 WGPA as Chris will take us to commercial break.
You're listening to Sunny 1100 WGPA, AM and 98.5, W253CC in Bethlehem.
I can't believe what I saw when I visited the new College Hill Tavern operated by brothers John and Maynard Melham. There's a wide, open, and bright surroundings when you arrive. 3 widescreen TVs, and you'll soon find out there's a great menu from their specialty half-pound burgers, their pulled pork, and their chicken specialties. Both wings, regular and boneless, and their homemade chicken fingers. Also, their delicious flatbread pizzas, nachos, quesadillas, homemade French onion soup, and their great daily entrees. Executive Chef Bill Pillar does it all, as he has his limited breakfast menu too. College Hill Tavern is open 7 days a week, opening at 11 a.m. daily until 2 a.m., and their kitchen is open until midnight. Nazareth Beverage Center is located at 56 South Street off Route 191 in Nazareth. The proprietors, Terry and Don Pacone, are big supporters of Nazareth sports. Their beverage store specializes in drive-through service, making it easy for you to get your favorite beverage without getting out of your car. Speaking of beverages, they have them all, featuring your favorite beer, soda.
Don't forget the
Stop in for your seltzer drinks.
They're open 7 days a week. They open at 9 a.m. Monday through Saturday, closing at 8 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday.
Sunday hours are 11 to 5.
Check out their website, NazarethBeverage.com. It's there you'll learn about their weekly specials, and you'll also learn about some fun facts about beer. So when you think sports, stop by Nazareth Beverage Center for your favorite beer.
Hello, it's me again, on my way to the airport. My wife and I are getting away for a little golf and sun. Or is it a lot of sun and a little golf? Well, I'm happy to just get away this time of year. But as I drive here on Route 248, I think about all the loose ends at work. One thing I don't have to worry about is my auto, home, and business insurance. That's because I let the Regal Agency handle it all. They represent fine companies like Erie Insurance, and that takes the worry out of finding the right insurance that fits my needs. Regal Insurance is right here in the Lehigh Valley and has been since 1936. My grandfather trusted them, and I wouldn't want to trust my insurance to anyone else. With Regal, I get good rates, good coverage, and even a multi-policy discount. And there's always a friendly and helpful person on the other end of the phone. Thank goodness for Regal. No worries, just a history of excellent service. Regal Insurance. That's just like Eagle, but with an R. Hey, I wonder if they can insure a good golf game. Regal Insurance, 2912 William Penn Highway, Easton, and RegalINS.com, or 610-258-7216. Regal Insurance, for business, personal, for life.
Salvatore Sam Ruda, associate broker and manager of Berkshire Hathaway Homes, specialize in buying or selling homes in the Lehigh Valley. Sam's specialty is dealing with senior citizens and veterans. Sam's office is located at 145 South Main Street in Nazareth. You can reach Sam by calling his office at 610-737-2310. Remember, when it comes to selling or buying homes in the Lehigh Valley, Sam Ruda is the one to call at 610-737-2310. Right now, take advantage of the offer while Sam is giving a 1-year home warranty to anyone who lists or buys a home from him. So call now, 737-2310.
Hi, this is Tracy K. Houston, and you're listening to WGPA in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. They play lots of great music on this station, and I love it.
Okay, we're back with Michael and Jack, live from Easton Area High School 2021 graduation.
Alrighty, thank you very much, my friend. That's right, alongside Jack Logic, Mike Ventola with you. And before we get back to reading the members of the class of 2021 and all their names, Jack, it's been, it's great to see all these kids and their families. It has been an outstanding evening so far, but we got to take a moment as well
thank yous.
Yeah, some thank yous as well, too, of course, to the entire Easton administration, of course, for giving us a second year in a row here to do this. It's been a lot of fun, and of course too we got to thank all the teachers and the staff here on site as well too. He'll yell at me if I don't give him a shout out, but Greg Hess by the baseball field, he said him and a group of teachers, they're working hard down that way, so they're kind of not in the limelight right now, but they are working hard down there. Of course, administration and teachers handing out the diplomas. And of course, too, even up on the stage area by us, you have teachers, administration, you have the band, the chorus, the choir. They are all getting ready for the students when they take their seats, Jack.
Does Greg want that reputation? He's working hard.
Yes.
No, all kidding aside, Greg Hess and Carmen LaDuca, two are best friends in the Easton administration. We also want to thank Chris Crumblis and Rock Crumblis back at the station because, they're doing this out of love for the community, and we really appreciate their indulgence. I want to thank Mindy Tucko and her girlfriends for saving our tent.
Yes.
Mindy was walking by, and she's an art teacher here, and her and her 3 compatriots. It was going so fast, they didn't know who was who, but they helped us.
They did a great job. So,
and Chris, your equipment is safe and sound, and Pete Deschler's hatchback.
Yeah, we're doing great here, but it's kind of braving the elements. But Jack, I guess it's up to me, so let's continue reading these names. These kids, they want to hear their names being mentioned on the radio. We'll start with Maggie Catherine Scanlon, Christiana Elizabeth Schleck, Trevor Jason Schubert, Andre Ray Scott, Clemia Nikai Scott, Jessica Ann Sirfus, Nia Carmela Sefcik, Sarah Nadi Seda, Stella Rose Shipman, Caden James Shirk, and Yana Sadak.
I got Anna Caroline Silva, Destiny and Angela Silva, Alicia Simone Eva Simmons, Karian's Lisa Simmons, Arship Singh, Devinder Sinj, Manny Oak Sinj, Manny Sinj, Hannah Riley Slate, Hannah Elizabeth Slattery, and Brooke Ann Sliker.
Elon Smalls, Anissa Alinta Smith, Hannah Riley Smith, Jaleesa Shane Smith, Jessica Elizabeth Smith, Josiah Zebulun Smith, Noah Mitchell Miluski Smith, Tiana L. Smith, Darius Sahid Snyder, Emily Rose Snyder, and Layla Nicole Snyder.
Cassandra Eveline Soledad, Casey Lynn Solt, Savannah Marie Summers, Mateo James Sosa, Hope Isabella Sestores, Chester Imando Soto, Megan Rose Sepcott, Max Paul Squasha, Matthew Jacob Stafford, Andy Caitlin Stefanik, and Brianna Nicole Staley.
Cole Harrison Stanchina, Zoriana Marie Steele, Keegan Edward Stem, Lainey Grace Stem, Madison Casey Storino, Demetrius Dasani Stoll, Alyssa Jane Stump, Marissa Gaetana Sutton, McKenna Elizabeth Swartz, Scott Hamilton Sweeney, Serene Osmond Timon, Francesca Louise Tatuli, and Christopher Donald Tavernier.
I have Ryan Elizabeth Telesmina, Nick Neal, Emily Ashante Teneza, Solanius Theodorlius, Kuan Micaiah Thompson, Xavier Micaiah Thompson, Campbell, Gary Time, Chatoa Long Todd, Sean Matthew Tui, Elena Shea Torek, Isabel Edison Torres, and Isaiah Torres.
All right, I have Kai Juan, Isaiah Torres, Ethan Van Tran, Justin Van Tran, Christian Libomorov Tyranov, Tajmira Deanne Trent, Taylor Nicole Trimmer, Luke Nathaniel Trout, Caleb Edwin Troxel, Ever Oswaldo Tercios Amaya, Selena Marie Turner, Freddie Orlando Zune Swayuch, Victor Gonzalo Vasa Huiji, Alexandra Luis Valdez, Brianna Inez Valenzuela, Lila Grace Van Hoven, Jacob Joseph Van Horn, Ryan Christopher Van Pell, Amneris Vasquez, and Jaden Taylor Vasquez.
Very good, Michael. Julio Michael Velasquez, Sarah Jean Velasquez, Victoria Maria Velasquez, Brian Ventura, Samantha Maria Vera, Morgan Ann Vicindomia, Talik Amir Victorian, Maddie Nicole Krzyzewski, Nina Maria Vigilante, Keen Andrea Johnson Villanueva, Kim Kathleen Villanueva, and Casey Marina Valoria de la Cruz.
Veracity Venai, Zofia Luis Giaffrion Vinci, Jessica Ann Viola, Emily Isabella Violante, Zakir Vuia, Colin Brian Wade, Matthew Ryan Wagner, Ryan Kenneth Walenciak, Aiza Wasim, Nafisa Hanjum Wasekwa, David Anthony Weisner, and Gavin Michael Weiss.
Okay, Allie Lee Werkheiser, Kelsey Ray Werkheiser, Rose Marie Louise Werkheiser, Emily Page Wesco, Alexis Marie White, Ania Lene DeVell White, Alexander Price Whitner, Dazani Zanea Williams, Dion Ravel Williams, and Giovanna Joy Williams.
Jordan Michael Williams, Nazir Ibn Khalil Williams, Shamil Sharad Williams, Sharmil Rajai Williams, Talia Faith Williams, Janine Jaden Wilson, Leandra Alicia Wilson, Malaysia Maria Wilson, Dominic Jeffrey Witter, Shane Anthony Wolf. Jack, bring us home.
And I'll bring you home with the end of the alphabet, the end of the class of 2021. Kaylee Shavir Kareem Woody Johnson, Cara Marie Yanuzzi, Abigail Jane Yates, Justine Marisol Young, Trevor Lance Young, Michael Yu, Zane Zag, Henry Yu, Steve Rigo Zambano, Sharon Zhao, and Mason Joffrey Zimmerman.
Congratulations to the class of 2021. We know you're all listening, so we're hearing the horns being honked already. So honk a little loud, knowing that your name was just heard on the radio. For Jack Logic and myself, we can't say enough how fun it's been here so far. It looks like Mother Nature is working with us here so far.
The weatherman, John Shalankus, is right next to us.
He is doing a great job. He really is. And
his compatriot in crime, Mr. Deschler.
Yes.
Peter, yes. Yeah, we got a lot of accomplishments, and we'll, for the next 20 minutes, we'll talk about some accomplishments in the history of the high school, and then we'll play it by ear at 7:35 what we do,
Absolutely, because there is a portion of the night, folks, where Jack and I, our jobs here tonight is to not only, of course, what we did here for quite a while was read all the names, but also, too, you heard some great speeches earlier already from the administration, hearing some great music performances led by Pete Deschler and, of course, his outstanding students and what they've been able to do in preparation for today. That was all on the recordings that you heard prior to the names being read. So we're getting into the bulk, though, of a lot of the speeches and the on-site stuff, which will be happening in a little while, actually. So for Jack and I, like you said, we're going to talk some history, and I'm going to get Jack started with some history because, I mean, for those of you who don't know, Jack Logic's been a fabric of Easton Area High School for a number of years, and Jack goes a ways back. I'm a member of the class of 2006. So, for me, this place is near and dear to both of our hearts, and Jack,
I'm 37 years your senior.
Exactly. So I know for you can think back to when you graduated Easton Area High School where things were a lot different.
A lot different, simpler in life, but like I said, there was no internet, it's just the way of the times. And we had a similar day when I graduated. We heard about the thunderstorms possibility and all that, and about 5 o'clock it cleared up, and graduation from 1962 till 1974, I think, was on the Easton Area High School baseball field.
Oh wow, yeah, that's right. I remember you saying.
Yeah, they had the bandstand or whatever you want to call it, the podium in center field.
Yeah.
And Easton Area Richards Field at the time had Carm and Greg, if they're listening, they'll be envious. Their grandstands went from home plate almost 3/4 of the way down the left field and right field. So there was a lot of room for the public to sit down in the grandstand.
Oh, wow.
Plus, of course, the public brought folding chairs and all that. So, and then in 1975, I believe it went to Cottingham Stadium.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because I remember you saying that last year.
Yeah, Cottingham Stadium, 1975. And that had about a 10 to 15-year run.
Oh, wow.
And then they went to Kirby Fieldhouse.
That's right. I remember.
Lafayette College campus. And the only minus about Kirby Fieldhouse was before they remodeled it, they didn't have air conditioning.
Oh, good Lord.
So there was a lot of sweaty palms.
Sweaty palms indeed. But look, the kids here tonight are having a great time. As Jack and I can tell you, looking to our left, and there are 3 rows of cars right now on the upper level parking lot here as these kids, as they're driving through, they're going to get their diplomas. There's Pete Deschler walking right by us. You know, he and his team doing a great job. The choir, we're excited to hear everybody sing tonight. So these kids, they work so hard throughout the year, and you know, but look right now, this is a parking lot you love to see right now,
Yes.
Jack. Look at all these families and these kids. Smiles, too. These kids, you think about where we were last year, too, Jack, with the coronavirus pandemic, and it's, let's be honest, it's continued into this year. So these kids, once again, have had to deal with a lot of trials and tribulations, and they're going to look back 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now and think, man,
remember when.
Remember when. And hopefully, good Lord, we never have to experience this ever again.
I hope so. I hope the sciences, the people are ahead of things, and we don't have to ever do this because we lost so many lives, over 500,000 lives to this, and some local people that were near and dear to us, like I said.
Absolutely. So
and getting back to the history in late 90s, sometime after Sweaty Palms, literally at Kirby Fieldhouse, it moved to Stabler. And it's been Stabler until last year. And the powers that be, Pete Deschler and Kyle Geiger, Jeanette Cassis and company said, how would you like to do this on WGPA?
And I said, I got my partner in crime all picked out. If he's not doing baseball that night, like Ventola. And they said great. And like I said, Chris and Rock Crumblis made it possible. And they're doing a second graduation on their sister station tonight up in the Shenandoah.
Which is awesome,
Panther
too.
Valley High School.
I was supposed to say, for Chris and Rock, I know they've been working hard back in studio, folks. Chris was out here earlier today assisting with setup. It was quite a grueling process, but still able to be happen because at the end of the day, like you said, Jack, this is all about the kids and recognizing that these kids worked so hard for 4 years. And this is the day and the moment they've been working hard towards to get that diploma, to be with their friends and their family, smiling from ear to ear. And I know they're all looking forward to the moment where they can toss their caps high into the sky and say, we have graduated.
It's a beautiful setting out here right now.
It really is.
You look out at the trees, you look at the Kunkel track, and Jim Krisak just rode by. He likes to just take rides around the campus.
Look, our
director of athletics.
Yep.
So he thinks he's important.
Look, he gave me a ride up here, so I can't complain. Yeah, he gave me a ride up here. But you know what, folks? I know too. You're thinking, all right, Jack, Mike, you want to hear about these kids' accomplishments? Yes. There are so many different accomplishments from the music department. Just to get started there, you have athletes and what they were able to accomplish. But one thing I actually wanted to read here first, Jack, if I can, is. And I'm going to read this verbatim because it was written so well. And it says here, our first robotics team is a competitive robotics team that builds a robot and travels around to full-scale robotics competitions to compete with and against other robots. 2019 to 2020 was our rookie year, and unfortunately, COVID shut down the school in the entire season just 6 days before our first tournament. This year, meeting remotely, we still managed to develop our skills and work on the team structure. During second semester, we were able to meet in a very limited capacity, but have succeeded in building a second prototype robot, modify it to create a candy cannon that we hope will be working in time to drive around the graduation parade, design and 3D print medallions for our seniors to wear on their graduation cords, and have a long overdue team celebration. We're so proud of our entire team and are thrilled to see what our seniors will bring to the world. Jenna Duong, Ethan Tran, Chris Jiang, Henry Yu, Mehek Dewan, Destiny DeLeon, Denise Kaur, Kevin Griffone, and Clancy Crozier. And they are very excited for what 2021 to 2022 will bring with our first chance to truly compete in a competition. That, to me, is, of all the accomplishments, that is unbelievable because just to build a competitive robotics team, you have to be in person. For them to do it remotely like they did, I had to get that out first because, to me, that right there was really cool to hear about. It was impressive.
Since we're also giving accolades out, we talked about Pete Deschler, John Slankus, and Chris Valentine, who took over for Carol Liddy and hasn't missed a beat as the band director. The choral department did a virtual version of their own all-city chorus this year. The following students were selected to be in the Pennsylvania Music Educators Association Virtual Festival. District Band, Megumi Barkley, Kate Fashing, Robert Herbruda, Christina Schleek, Ryan Smith, Sophia Vinci, Colin Wade. District Orchestra, Megumi Barkley again, Lena Dishabar, Sean Gallagher, Christine Schley, Sophie Vinci, Aka Vu, Cami Vu, and Jonathan Vu. Region Band, Megan Barkley, Christine Schleich, Sophie Vinci. Regional Orchestra, Megan Barkley, Linus Dishbar, Sean Gallagher, Christine Schleich, and Camelia Vu. All-State Band, Christine Schleicher, Sophie Vinci. All-State Orchestra, Camille Vu. All-State West Ensemble, Megumi Barkley. All-East Orchestra, Megumi Barkley. The marching band also had its 46th First Flag Band Festival on Saturday, September 25th. What other accomplishments do we have, Michael, there?
We certainly do. I can keep going. The following seniors were the Student of the Month for the Rotary Club of Easton: Dominic Falcone, Kayla Moitu, and Sophia Vinci. And also, the following seniors were the recipients of the Little Rock 9: Tracy Charles, Melili DeRoman, Jenny Duong, Ananda Lindsay, Duriv Patel, and Nazir Williams. So congratulations to those Student of the Months from the Rotary Club, from Little Rock 9, and of course, too, once again, the best communities for music education. The choral department, as you mentioned, going through all the music accolades, unbelievable. We've seen some great accolades here that you and I have had a chance to go over.
And two special athletes, Dominic Falcone and Jaden Martellucci, who did both great in their sports and placed in their state competition. We're also scholar athletes for the fall and spring seasons. So congratulations to those two young students. I watched Dominic play football and wrestling for the last 4 years. He has great parents. His mother's a teacher over at Cheston. His dad's the defensive coordinator on the football staff. So congratulations. And Jaden, I had the privilege of meeting. She's a really standout track and field person. So athletic accomplishment, Mike, you want to start with the fall 2020?
Absolutely. I got a chance to do a little broadcast of some Easton field hockey, an unbelievable team. They sadly did lose to the EAHS Green Hornets, but the field hockey team was unbelievable throughout their fall season. Field hockey, they were the Northampton County Division champions. And how about football? Dominic Falcone, he was the EPC football scholar athlete. And girls volleyball was really good as well. Jaden Martellucci was the EPC girls volleyball scholar athlete. Pretty impressive stuff in some fall athletics.
Yes, it was. And like I said, and the field hockey team under Casey Eklund, the Northampton County Division champions. Yep. And they came in second in the district to, guess who? EAHS.
Real quickly, our good buddy Chris Chambliss working back in studio. This broadcast right now, and hopefully folks, I know they're honking their horns, they're doing everything. The kids are having fun, they're screaming, they're yelling, they're doing everything they need to be doing. But Chris Chambliss has told us this broadcast is being heard in Sweden right now.
That's impressive.
That is impressive. So
thanks,
to our
Chris
good
Chambliss.
Friends in Sweden,
yes.
Thank you from our good friends here in the States. We're glad to have you aboard.
Yes, we're equal opportunity. It's amazing during the football season. Our broadcasts go out all over the nation. If we're not on a Friday night, we're not doing Easton football. Yeah. We hear about it because over the years, Michael, you were a part of it before you had to leave for Reading and on different things. If we didn't do an Easton football game, we heard about it. And what we tried to do is, if everything's even, Easton Area High School football's on.
Absolutely.
But once in a while, Easton's playing somebody that they were definitely overmatch. And we put a different game on, and we don't hear the end of it. And, we don't pick on a particular school up north or up to the west of us, and they just live and die. People retire, especially the Florida area.
Oh, yes. Florida. I know that all too well.
And guess who gets home, listen to every second half of our game is Bruce Nagy.
Oh, yes. Why am I not surprised? Our good buddy Bruce.
Right.
So, did you want to get to, let's see.
Yeah, the winter accomplishments.
Absolutely.
Right?
Get to the winter accomplishments. Then after that, we'll get ready for, we'll wrap it up and then get ready for our next break.
Yeah, the boys and girls basketball teams both had 7-2 records.
Yep.
And the boys would have won the Northampton County Division if they would have finished. And of course, COVID reared its ugly head and made the season end at 7-2.
Yeah.
Both the boys and girls were having outstanding years under both Dave Woods for the girls and Ben Childs for the boys.
Yep.
The wrestling team only had 3 dual meets, and then went to competition and sent 4 wrestlers to states. And Jody Karam saved the program literally when the most winningest coach in District 11 wrestling history, Steve Powell, almost left us. And Jody, saved his life that day, and that might be the highlight of my year. And Steve Powell, from his hospital bed that Saturday night, did the state finals as he was watching on the TV and doing commentating for WGPA radio.
Mr. Powell, good man. He was actually, when I was a student here, he was a gym teacher of mine.
Yes, he coached Easton Wrestling from 1985 to 2016. So, over almost 550 wins. So, like I said. But Jody did a great job. Swimming team, they did their job. And in the spring, my heart went out to Greg Hess and Carmel Duca last year, because if they would have had the baseball season last year, it might have been one of the best Easton baseball teams ever. This year wasn't bad, but there was so much balance in the league that the Rovers were the top 4 districts. But like I said, they weren't able to get any further, but that's not because of the coaching or the playing. It's just the league was so balanced. When you have a team like Liberty that doesn't make it out districts, it's a great baseball season.
No, you're certainly right, Jack, and we're about 3 or 4 minutes away from our commercial break. So
let's give the track people there real
absolutely.
quick. The EPC championship made girls 4x4 400 relay was first place. Marcus Williams is going to come back on the football team, who's a running back who took Haji Adams' place when he got hurt last year. 100 first in the 100 meters. Sincere Johnson 110 first place. It mean, we got a visitor, huh?
I was about to say the Groundhog's just looking at me right now.
Yeah, right. Groundhog Day. Emily Sophine was first in the 800 meters. And Jaden Marlucci was first place in the discus. And I know she also placed in states. And the girls lacrosse team under Michelle Mahalko, an undefeated year until they fell in the states. They were East Penn Conference champions and District 11 champions.
I tell you, Jack, real quickly, once again, these kids and their families, they're having fun right now, looking over even our direction right now, and, we're just happy. I tell you, it's packed, everybody's doing great, and look, everyone's honking their horns, having a good time, and I know kids are getting ready to get their diplomas. What I love is that for the cars that have sunroofs,
yeah, that is great.
And the kids are out top of the sunroofs right now. To me, I love it. If the kids, they can hear me on the sunroofs, cheer loud. We love it. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. So, this is your day. Jack and I and everybody, we're here for you. You kids, you worked hard for 4 years. And really this year as well as part of last year with everything going on. So,
these kids had it rough. They missed part of March last year, their junior year. None of the spring sports played last year, so this year they had a chance to play spring sports.
Yep.
And then in the football season, they were limited to playing Northampton County division teams.
Yeah, that's right. And so hopefully, though, we're looking forward to September. Things will kind of get back to where things were prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. So, but Jack, also too, we talk about all the cars and everything else, but we are just about a minute away from break here. So I think I have, so real quickly, just want to convey the scene one more time before we send things back to commercial break. There are students that have their way out to the turf field that are now getting lined up. There is staff and administration from the other side of the school that are allowing these kids to walk on up, and they're making their way to the turf where they will sit and then look out to a stage that is being set up, some seats overlooking the track, where, of course, there will be still the meat and potatoes part of this graduation.
Yes, and sometime between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, we may be joining them. If not, I'm sure at 8 o'clock sharp we will be. So we got about a minute and a half to fill before we go back for our break.
So before we go ahead, Jack.
Before we go back, when we get back, we'll talk about a little bit about the old Cottingham Stadium, which will become a brand new Cottingham Stadium in August. So it should be a lot of fun. So we're going to go back, go for a break right now, and when we get back, we'll talk some Cottingham Stadium history.
You're listening to Sunny 1100 WGPA AM in Bethlehem.
Salvatore Sam Ruda, associate broker and manager of Berkshire Hathaway Homes, specialize in buying or selling homes in the Lehigh Valley. Sam's specialty is dealing with senior citizens and veterans. Sam's office is located at 145 South Main Street in Nazareth. You can reach Sam by calling his office at 610-737-2310. Remember, when it comes to selling or buying homes in the Lehigh Valley, Sam Ruda is the one to call at 610-737-2310. Right now, take advantage of the offer while Sam is giving a 1-year home warranty to anyone who lists or buys a home from him. So call now, 737-2310.
Hello, it's me again, on my way to the airport. My wife and I are getting away for a little golf and sun. Or is it a lot of sun and a little golf? Well, I'm happy to just get away this time of year. But as I drive here on Route 248, I think about all the loose ends at work. One thing I don't have to worry about is my auto, home, and business insurance. That's because because I let the Regal agency handle it all. They represent fine companies like Erie Insurance, and that takes the worry out of finding the right insurance that fits my needs. Regal Insurance is right here in the Lehigh Valley and has been since 1936. My grandfather trusted them, and I wouldn't want to trust my insurance to anyone else. With Regal, I get good rates, good coverage, and even a multi-policy discount. And there's always a friendly and helpful person on the other end of the phone. Thank goodness for Regal. No worries, just a history of excellent service. Regal Insurance, that's just like Eagle, but with an R. Hey, I wonder if they can insure a good golf game. Regal Insurance, 2912 William Penn Highway, Easton, and RegalINS.com, or 610-258-7216. Regal Insurance, for business, personal, for life.
I can't believe what I saw when I visited the new College Hill Tavern operated by brothers John and Maynard Melham. There's a wide, open, and bright surroundings when you arrive. 3 widescreen TVs, and you'll soon find out there's a great menu from their specialty half-pound burgers, their pulled pork, and their chicken specialties. Both wings, regular and boneless, and their homemade chicken fingers. Also, their delicious flatbread pizzas, nachos, quesadillas, homemade French onion soup, and their great daily entrees. Executive Chef Bill Pillar does it all, as he has his limited breakfast menu too. College Hill Tavern is open 7 days a week, opening at 11 a.m. daily until 2 a.m., and their kitchen is open until midnight. Nazareth Beverage Center is located at 56 South Street off Route 191 in Nazareth. The proprietors, Terry and Don Picone, are big supporters of Nazareth sports. Their beverage store specializes in drive-through service, making it easy for you to get your favorite beverage without getting out of your car. Speaking of beverages, they have them all, featuring your favorite beer, soda.
Don't forget to stop in for your seltzer drinks.
They're open 7 days a week. They open at 9 a.m. Monday through Saturday, closing at 8 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday.
Sunday hours are 11 to 5.
Check out their website, NazarethBeverage.com. It's there you'll learn about their weekly specials, and you'll also learn about some fun facts about beer. So when you think sports, stop by Nazareth Beverage Center for your favorite beer.
Hi, I'm Bill.
And I'm Bill.
And I'm Dave.
And we're the Flaming Caucasians.
You are listening to Sunny 1100 WGPA in Bethlehem.
Back here at Eastern Area High School on 25th Street and Wayne Penn Highway, along with Michael Ventola. And Michael, so far the elements have cooperated basically with us, except for about a 10-15 minute windstorm.
Yeah, so the wind kind of moved along. The rain has been held off, and what we're doing here right now is for Jack and I, once again, we've gone through all the graduation names for those who may just be turning things on here. But also, too, we also got to hear from head principal Kyle Geiger, as well as some of the members of the Easton area school district staff. So, and then, we've got to hear all the pomp and circumstance, and also the great Star Spangled Banner, all the different types of songs that happen to kind of kick off a graduation each and every year. But this is the 165th commencement of Easton Area High School, which is, when you think about 165 years. But Jack, before I send it over to you, the kids, they're continuing to make their way in towards the turf field. Well, they will have part 2 of the graduation, but I know you want to get some thanks out of the way once again, and also remind for our parents who are driving where they need to be.
Yes, I want to thank the Eastern Area Education Association for sponsoring this to help Chris and Rock out with all the expenses they had to put this thing on. So thank you to them. And the sponsors you're hearing tonight are my 4 favorite sponsors who have been with me for years, and when I give them a free sponsorship, I like to give them one. So thank them and all my sponsors on my show. But for you parents that are driving along right now or you're parked, we'll be staying on until they sign off on the track. So just go down, watch the 25-foot screen. It's like a drive-in theater, and keep 1100 AM tuned on, and you'll be able to hear the speeches of the president of the class, student council president, the valedictorian, salutatorian, and other people. Mike?
Yeah, you're 110% correct. So once we get to that point, though, Jack and I will continue to keep you entertained, because not only did we already kind of talk through what a lot of these students and their great accomplishments throughout the year, but there's a lot of history around Easton High School. When you think about 165 commencements, and not only that, too, but, when you think about Easton High School and what in its rich history, there's so many different avenues and aspects of what makes Easton Area High School so great. But one thing, too, about Easton is not so much is they built upon a strong past, but also striving towards a greater future. And one thing that I know many in the community are really excited about, Jack, is the continued work on Cottingham Stadium. And I know not only from a sports purposes, but also too, it looks like it can also be a multi-purpose facility. It looks like you could do so many different things with that place.
We may be broadcasting graduation from down there next year.
Well, that's up, of course, to the powers to be. But you and I, we can speculate if we want.
Yeah, we can speculate. You know, you have a 5,500 seat facility down there, and they said Mike Cuck, the director of secondary education, told us locker rooms are second to none, and they even have a room for the cheerleaders, so, which is they need it, they deserve it. So a lot of things going on, but I want to give a quick. Before we get to Cottingham Stadium, just give a quick history.
Yeah, of course.
Where basically where this started back in the 19th century, in the late 1800s.
Yep.
On North 2nd Street. Where you see the Wolf Building today, that was the Easton High School, not Erie High School, but Easton High School. And there was 2 other buildings adjacent, small buildings that were before the main building. And one I think was to the left, one was to the right. I'm not sure exactly right, but the first school was really the first high school was then. And that's when Easton High School started making football history. I mean, under James B. Pat Riley. There's a scholarship named after him, and he had like 130 wins and 29 losses.
Oh, wow.
And many state championships, like I said, that start making the program where it was. And then in the mid-1920s, they moved to 12th and Northampton Street, which is now the site of Patsinosa Elementary School.
That's right.
But before Patsinosa Elementary School, it was Easton Middle School, which housed the 6th and 7th graders from the school district. And then later on, it became a 5th and 6th grade school, and today it's K through 5. So the building's still there, and right across the street, of course, is Cottingham Stadium, and they played their first football game there in 1924, Michael.
Wow.
96 years of football.
I was going to say, it's a long time. So, look, I mean, real quickly, too, I mean, you got the cars. I mean, the signs on the cars have been great. It looks like we got one car here that's got Brian. Congrats to Brian right on the side there. So, really cool. We've seen some elaborate signs. Of course, they have the Easton signs on some cars, Easton 2021 grad. Balloons out of some cars, all different shapes and sizes. I mean, some cars were really decked out in Easton paraphernalia, which is great. So it's, this is kind of the cool scene. You got balloons and I tell you, I mean, even this car's got stringers or whatever you want to call them. They even got some other lettering on top of the cars. So it's really neat. Never thought. I mean, to me, if I were a student,
I'd want this.
This is what I would want here. I got to be honest with you. I keep in touch with a lot of my classmates from the class of 2006. Part of the reason working at Coca-Cola Park with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, this past homestand, Jack, I bumped into so many different former classmates, and we all continue to keep in touch with one another, because that's one of the great things about coming to school at Easton and coming up through the Easton School District. No matter what elementary school you go to, where you go to, then of course middle school, Shawnee, and then working your way here through Easton, is you keep in touch. You always stay close with your close high school mates, and that's what's always so awesome.
Special.
It's what's really special about this place.
Yes, I know some classes are more special than others, not accomplishment-wise, but some classes like yours and mine are really close naturally. They stayed in touch, had every reunion and well attended, and like I said, we were really blessed. But getting back to the history, like I said, Easton High School and 12th and Northampton Street was built in 1926, and they started playing football in 1924. And the original stands were the visiting stands; they were the home stands.
Right. And
there was temporary stands on the home side of the field. So that was where they started playing football. And Easton High School stood there through June of 1961, when the last graduating class graduated from 12th Street. And in September of 1962, Easton Area High School was born. It was Easton High School before that. Easton Area High School was born, and its first principal was Dr. Carl Peterson.
Right.
And I think I mentioned this last year, but a lot of people didn't listen to it last year because their kids didn't graduate. But Dr. Peterson lived in Bethlehem Township.
Okay.
And in nice weather would ride his horse to school.
Now, here's what I think I asked you this last year, so I'm going to ask again because, like you said, most of the listeners, I mean, the administrators and the teachers, they're hearing this for a second straight year. So I can ask you this though, for these parents and family members, so he had a horse in his yard. So did he have like a lot of land where he lived, where he was able to have a horse?
He must have.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, and he tied it up, like you said, right outside the auditorium, and. Dr. Peterson was a very educated scholar.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, he didn't have the home touch, but like I said, he did his job when he was supposed to.
Absolutely.
Yes, we have a listener.
We have a listener.
Yes.
Or a fan or a parent. I mean, we got someone just,
We'd like to hear from you.
The chaos.
You found him? Okay, nice to talk to you.
Him. There you go. See,
we're equal opportunity. We are.
Yeah,
we do it all.
We can not only, we're being told to obviously, entertain and help move the graduation along, but parents coming up asking us what's next. But Jack, like you said already, there's going to be a big TV screen for kind of like drive-in movie style down at the other side of the high school. I mean, cars are still making their way in here. And by the way, too, I know we thanked the administration, we thanked the teachers and the staff members here on staff, students who are also assisting to help work with this graduation as well. But we can't thank enough for all the municipalities, the local law enforcement.
Yes.
They did a absolutely tremendous job safely getting these cars to and from their municipalities to
Easton, Wilson,
yep,
Palmer, Forks. And they thanked them earlier, and we got to thank them again because it's nice to join hands and do something nice for the kids.
Right. Not only just driving, leading the way to leading the parade, but of course, too, you have staff here on site as well, too, looking to, of course, make sure things are safe as always. So you can't just thank these folks enough. And I tell you, the horns are really starting to pick up. I tell you, we're really starting to feel the enthusiasm coming from these cars.
Yes, we don't know what the last car is, but the line is keep on going. So Dr. Peterson stayed halfway through the 1965 school year.
Yep.
And during that 1965 school year, he left, and might have been the biggest thing ever happened to me.
What was that?
Why he left. That was probably the best thing ever happened to me. I was in 8th grade. Little did I know.
Hello, Miss Capici, one of my old teachers. Whoa, my goodness, somebody come on, bring it in.
Janine Capici's there.
One of my all-time favorites.
Michael.
Oh, my goodness, the best. Oh, my goodness. I'm good. How are you?
I wanted to get one while Michael's running for office. I'll get back to my story with Michael so he can appreciate it. But like I said, 1965, Carl H. Peterson resigned to take a secondary job in Connecticut. So when Michael gets back, I'll go on with my story. And then, like I said, there have been a lot of principals through the years. Stanley Steiger walked to Dr. Peterson's place for the remainder of 1965. And then he was principal at Eastern Area High School through the 1968 academic year. In the fall of 1968, one of our dear friends who just passed away in the last 12 months, I believe, Mr. Philip Spaziani took over, and he took over in September of 1968. And Mr. Spaziani stayed on board through roughly around 1974. Michael, I saved a story for you. I gave some more principles. The reason it was such an important situation for me is in the beginning of the 1965 football season, one of the two most legendary football coaches in Eastern Area High School football history. There's been a lot of great coaches, and if I can name them right now, there was, of course, Pat Riley, as we mentioned, Elmer Carroll, and then Bob Root, and then Wayne Grube, and Bob Shriver, Steve Schiffer, and presently Jeff Rado's the head football coach.
Yeah.
But in 1965, early that year, Charles Robert Root, he resigned. People didn't know at that time the reason for the resignation was him and Dr. Peterson didn't see eye to eye on situations.
Okay.
So when Dr. Peterson resigned in December, Bob Root reapplied for the job.
Oh, wow.
So the job was vacant, and Bob Root got the job. And the reason I said it's the biggest thing that ever happened to me is Bob Root became my mentor.
Well, that I knew that.
Yeah, we had a great relationship.
I know. Obviously, he meant a lot to you, but I didn't realize. I don't think you told me that story last year.
No, I didn't really get into that part of the story.
No, you didn't.
And
So,
without Dr. Peterson resigning, going to Connecticut, he would have stayed on as principal, and we would have had a new football coach. And who knows if Jack Logic would have ever been a football manager.
which means would he be on the radio right
Right.
now?
Who knows? A lot of things lead to a lot of things in life. I left off at, I said James Egloff took over for Phil Spaziani, one of my dear friends, who was principal, and Mr. Egloff passed away. And since then, there's been a lot of good principals. Tom Evans, an Eastern graduate, Connie Mazza, Alfred Dean Jones. And I had two of my three other favorites. We saw one tonight, Mike Cuck at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Cuck had a 6-year term. One of our all-time favorites was Bill Ryder.
Mr. Ryder was my head principal during my time here at Easton.
He had an 7-year run.
Yep.
And his era ended in 2009, and that's when they had co-principals for 1 year. And that's when Chris Schiffert, who's now assistant superintendent in Whitehall, and Jeanette Cassis split the grades in half. Jeanette was head principal for 9 and 10, and Jeanette was 11 and 12. But that lasted just for 2 years because Chris left after 1 year to go to Whitehall as principal.
Yep.
And Mike Cuck took over 11 and 12, and then Jeanette gracefully saw that it was better to have one voice and not two. And Jeanette is just fantastic. They want to talk about fabric of Easton community. You know, she didn't graduate from Easton. She went in Notre Dame.
Yep.
She bleeds red and white.
She does.
And she just offered to be Mike Cuck's deputy principal.
Well, it's funny you mentioned about all the names that you mentioned. So, of course, Jeanette Cassis was was one of the principals when I was a student here. Chris Schiffert was actually my history teacher back in 11th grade, and I remember when he was going in the process of leaving, when I say leaving teaching, you never really leave in that sense.
You're always an educator.
You're always an educator. Always an educator. And then he was transitioning to becoming a principal, and I remember that. Bill Whitman was my grade principal throughout my time here at Easton.
Gene Waz always said Bill Whitman was the best grade level principal Easton ever had.
And Gene Waz used to, I was a good student, but every now and then, if he saw me walking halls, come on, Mike, let's get to class. He used to
Gene Waz is working out tonight.
He used
Gene's
to get on
retire.
me.
Next year's going to be Gene's last year.
Congratulations to him,
and so
man.
Gene has 1 more year to go. He might go as early as March. He hasn't figured it out for sure, but like I said, Gene will be sorely missed because he has such great rapport with the kids.
He really does. And folks, for those of you listening in, parents, grandmas, grandpas, cousins, uncles, aunts, for a lot of you maybe have come through Easton, you kind of know what Jack and I are talking about. There's always a lot of great memories, people who are entrenched in the fabric here of Easton Area High School, and it just creates what is an unbelievable memory, journey for you to go back and to just think back. Jack obviously with a long time of memories for him, but even for myself too. And graduation.
Your brother was one of the best baseball players coming through here.
Well, I appreciate that. I'll let Anthony know. Anthony, I know, played hard for Coach LaDuca and Coach Hess, and
standout catcher.
My sister, of course, Jenna, who was a graduating member of the graduating class of 2010.
And
she was
graduated with my nephew Danny.
Yes.
Second team all Lehigh Valley Conference it was that. One of the best outfielders in the conference on the championship team that year. That featured Colin Case and Justin Pacioli, and they just they had some great baseball players in that baseball team in 2010 that won the Lehigh Valley Conference championship. Still remember them beating EAHS 10-9 at Copley under the lights for the championship that year. So. And I have a Jenna in my life, too. You know her real well, Jenna Eckel.
Yep.
2007, graduated of Easton Area High School. Went on to graduate from the University of South Carolina.
Oh, yes. Great school down there.
Gamecock.
Yep. I visited that campus when I was an intern with the Augusta Green Jackets, the Giants Farm Club down in Augusta, Georgia. But, graduation to me,
it's a family affair.
It really is. And you know what, too? I think of myself because of And these kids listening out tonight to, and a lot of the seniors now that are sitting in the stands. Look, what's cool, Jack, is they're still, you see they're talking amongst their friends right now, and I know they hear us too because they got us on the speakers right now. So if they are listening, hopefully they give us a cheer. But I remember back to my high school graduation when I got a chance. I tried out to give a speech. I didn't know what speech I would give. I was senior class vice president, so I had to try out. I wanted to try out. It was something that was, important to me, and they assigned me the closing speech. And in my opinion, people want to get home at that point. So I knew I had to get up there, say what I needed to say, and get people home. And so
speaking of speeches, I was honored in 2013 as co-recipient of Eastern Area High School Day, and I spoke in front of 2,000 students, and Gene Waz warned me 7 minutes was my limit, and I ran over 8 minutes and 13 seconds.
Wow, man.
But that wasn't bad.
No, they always say a good speech is anywhere from 4 to 7 minutes. Right. Otherwise, you'll lose them.
And I always, you'll appreciate this.
Yeah.
My speech just said, get involved.
Amen.
Involvement is so much. It gives you so many opportunities, and one of the opportunities being involved, being in radio, got Matt Province to hire me. I was one of the official scorers of the Pigs.
Exactly.
And much Mike Ventola's chagrin, he came back from Reading and says, I'm stuck with Jack Logic on my staff. But it just really gives you a lot of opportunities. I'll still remember that speech to this day. And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Kyle Geiger, who took over from Mike Cuck and has done a fine job since.
He was my teacher.
Yeah, he was a great history teacher.
He was my history teacher my senior year.
2016 on, and he was a fine football coach, too. I know Bill Ryder had often said, if I had to pick somebody from Steve Schiffer's staff to succeed him, it might have been Kyle Geiger. But Kyle, by the time Steve and Easton parted ways, Kyle was already in administration.
And I tell you, he's done
a great job.
He's the right man for to leading this high school graduation, and we can't thank him enough because for him as the head principal here is the guy leading the charge.
Yes,
he's really at the forefront of making sure a lot of this what's happening here tonight is getting underway. So
Mr. Piperado, the superintendent who took over last year, was his first year, and now second year. I bet he's hoping September comes and everything goes like a normal school year.
Yeah, I know. For once again, Jack,
we got about 7 minutes left.
Yeah, 7 minutes, and then there's still some cars. So
it's going to be probably perfect timing almost. I think when we get back 8 o'clock, we might hear the band playing, and we can just go to them.
Exactly. So
getting back to the new Cottingham Stadium, let's talk about that. Like we talked.
Of course.
Like I said, the other one was 96 years old when it finally got its last customer, and restrooms were the same when I visited when I was a little boy. So there weren't many improvements made. The last improvements made I knew to the stadium was done prior to the 1990 season when John Maitland, Easton's retiring athletic director, who was athletic director for 23 years, John B. And he put new seats in and new lights and now that. But the concrete structure stayed, and there was no railings to put in because they were worried about putting railings in because the concrete might crack underneath.
Oh, wow.
And also, if they did any kind of improvements, that meant city code team would have to come out and look at the code. There might be other things wrong with the stadium. So from 1990 basically to 2020, the last 30 years, Cottingham has lived on borrowed time. And we've got to give a lot of credit to the powers that be. 3 years ago, they saw that Easton needed a new football stadium and got it passed, and right now it's about 80-85% done. And if you ride down North 11th Street in front of the field house, you can see a lot of the work being done.
Yeah, it's doing a great job. And as Jack, as you and I look out here, and the students are still making their way into the seats, in my opinion, the greatest high school band in the history of this country is settling in out there on the turf field as well. I know the students, they are anxiously waiting for the next portion of graduation to get underway. There are still cars making their way onto the grounds, as there are still students who have yet to receive their diplomas. But once again, too, there is a drive-in style sequence down on the other side of the high school from where we're at, as parents, family members, they'll get an opportunity to watch because there are not seats actually within the turf. That's just for the students at this time. But I tell you right now, part of our job here on radio is to really describe the scene, and not only with just all the students right now too, Jack, but you can kind of see the way the sun is setting. It's really a nice look here right now, and I tell you, it turned out to be a really great weather night. I know, like you talked about earlier, Jack, the wind, there was some drops of rain, anxiety certainly rose, but of course, Mother Nature prevailed in our favor here, and it's continues to be an outstanding night. We got a student in front of us, all decked out with some honor. Of course, a lot of you get the part of the robe, tassels, for honor roll and things of that nature. So,
Michael, who was your favorite teacher during your 4 years?
You're putting me on the spot because the
favorite teacher. let's make a plural roll. We got about 3-4 minutes to go, and we'll go for our last break. That's the last break.
My goodness, I had so many favorite teachers while I was here. Where do I begin? Good Lord. I have to probably, if I go into the history department, I was really fortunate to have outstanding history teachers during my time. Jeff Brado, my freshman year, he really challenged me. Scott Ordway was my history teacher my sophomore year. He lived down the street from where I grew up, so I got to know Mr. Ordway for a very long time. Of course, Chris Schiffer my junior year, and then Kyle Geiger my senior year. But I tell you, though, too, not only with all the history teachers, every teacher I had. Mrs. Dowd, my freshman English teacher, was tremendous. Mr. Rubino, who was another English teacher of mine, he was an outstanding teacher. I remember when it came to science, I had chemistry. Mrs. Vigliani was my chemistry teacher. I can keep going on, as you can tell. I can't. Every teacher here that I had, in some capacity, some more than others, impacted me, helped develop me to who I am today, because I was challenged while I was here, and it was
important to be challenged.
It really was too. But I have to give a shout out because I know she's listening. As I said, I was senior class vice president, and my advisor was Mrs. Schumer. And I know Mrs. Schumer is somewhere right now. And if she doesn't hear me say something, how much she is near and dear to my heart, she will come chase me down, and that will be that. But no, Mrs. Schumer, and of course Miss Capici. Yes. Because I had Miss Capici. She gracefully, she was the Junto advisor. So, she oversaw the newspaper, and I wrote for the newspaper. So she really took care of me, really, helped me get situated and all that good stuff. I was lucky while I was here.
About 2 minutes, so I'll go real quick. Late John Vogt was one of my favorite teachers. He was my economics teacher, and he grew up 2 doors down from me. And John was a track and field coach. Of course, my 2 football coaches were my history teachers, Mr. Root and Mr. Grube.
Yeah.
And I'll still remember my junior year in history class, and Mrs. Mann, the secretary, said to Mr. Root, says, "Mr. Root, you have a visitor down the office." He says, who is that? And he said, "Mr. Hayes." And he said, so he said, "Jack, would you down get Mr. Hayes?" And I didn't think 2 and 2 made 4 at all. Right. I went down, and it was the head football coach of Ohio State University, Woody Hayes, and he shook my hand and broke it almost. And he says, "I'm Coach Woodrow Hayes, head coach at the Ohio State University." And he told me on the way up to the 3rd floor that him and Bob Root were in the service together in World War II in the Marines. And he was recruiting Joe Parsons a year early to play linebacker at Ohio State, but Joe chose Princeton University, and Joe never looked back and has a very successful career in finance.
Well, once again, folks.
We got a minute and a half to go, Mike, for our last break.
Yeah, well, at this time, folks, once again, cars they're still in. I mean, it looks like we are taking a look at the last car that is in line, but there are still many cars in front that students have yet to get their diplomas. So we're still hoping that, in a little while, that the next portion of graduation, where there will be student speakers and, of course, all the final formalities before, of course, the end of commencement, as students are continuing to pile in and make their way out onto the turf field. So with that, alongside Jack Logic, I'm Mike Ventola, and you are listening to the 165th commencement of Eastern Area High School here on Sunny 1100 WGPA. Chris, you can take us to break.
Salvatore Sam Ruda, associate broker and manager of Berkshire Hathaway Homes, specialize in buying or selling homes in the Lehigh Valley. Sam's specialty is dealing with senior citizens and veterans. Sam's office is located at 145 South Main Street in Nazareth. You can reach Sam by calling his office at 610-737-2310. Remember, when it comes to selling or buying homes in the Lehigh Valley, Sam Ruda is the one to call at 610-737-2310. Right now, take advantage of the offer while Sam is giving a 1-year home warranty to anyone who lists or buys a home from him. So call now, 737-2310.
Listen to the new Sunny 1100 WGPA Bethlehem.
Nazareth Beverage Center, located at 56 South.
Jack Logic. I'm Mike Ventola. And the band here at Easton is performing right now. Jack, but I also know, too, they've always had an elaborate history here.
Not always. Carol Liddy made Easton Area High School band what it is today. And John B. Maitland, who I mentioned previously, in the early 90s, or late 80s it was before he left, he says, Jack, you're not going to believe how good the band is. And I went to Downtown School District Stadium, which is now J. Bernie Crum. Went for the East Downtown Central football game, and Downtown Central those years were coached by Jim Morgans at state championship teams. Easton had the same thing under Steve Schiffer. And I went to that game, and I mean, besides the football game, we just saw new enthusiasm for the band. Just not because they played great. It's just like right now, how they kept the students involved in the game. And Carol Liddy did that, and one of her students was Chris Valentine, who got his degree and became a band director out here in Pittsburgh, one of the Pittsburgh high schools. And when Carol left 2 years ago, they don't usually go outside for football coaches or basketball coaches, per se. But they went outside for a band director because Carol Liddy said, Chris Valentine's my man. And he came all the way back from Western Pennsylvania back to his alma mater.
That is quite a journey for him. And,
yes, and I give him all the credit in the world.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job right now.
And those kids, the last 2 years, no Easton Phillipsburg football game. You know, they had one, but they didn't have this year. And that's one other thing we have to mention. These kids, no bonfire, no Easton Phillipsburg football game. The highlights of their senior year had to be tough for them.
It really was, and I know it moved, at least, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jack, the game that was, okay, could it have been maybe potentially played up at Fisher Stadium? No, then obviously it was. This year was supposed to be a Phillipsburg home game, so they were thinking about trying to play in Phillipsburg, but it just ended up not working out.
Wednesday before the Saturday.
Yeah.
They were going to move up to Saturday afternoon, the week before Thanksgiving, and then Governor Murphy of New Jersey, and I'm not blaming him at all. He just was doing the right thing. He just said you couldn't cross state lines. If you did, you had to stay there. And the Easton Area High School football team would have played that Saturday afternoon, would have had to stay, I guess, 10 days in New Jersey by the law. So, of course, that kiboshed the game.
Yeah, that would have been at that time, which would have certainly been interesting if that were the case, but obviously ended up not coming to fruition as you talked about. And I know, like you said, a lot of people were disappointed, and I'm sure for a lot of these seniors who maybe wherever their next venture are taking them to wherever they're going to school. And by the way, too, I know we're a decent amount of kids' names that we mentioned, and we can't say this enough. They're going to represent our country in the armed forces.
Yes.
And that, to me, is just, it's
so special.
It really is special. It takes, I'm sure, a real line of courage to put your name into that hat. And no matter what branch of the military, be it the Army, be it the Navy, be it the Marines, be it the Air Force, whatever branch of the military may be, we wish those young men and women all the best as they, look to represent our country.
Yeah, represent our country, and the kids are going on to 4-year schools or 2-year schools to get their degree and come back and do something with it and serve your community. And I hope you have a very enjoyable the rest of your life, like I said. Because it's been taxing, it really has, for these kids, all throughout the Lehigh Valley. It really, not Easton Area High School, throughout. And it's been a tough year, but a lot of times you go through a tough period of your life, it makes you a stronger person.
No, it really does. And, this experience, right now, it's old well over a year, a year and a half. It feels like how much the world has changed.
Yes.
And how much as a society we've been able to adapt. And we keep looking back at these kids. They've had to go through so much. And, not only with how they were to go to class every day, whether it was in person or whether it was on a Zoom call or, half day, you had hybrid type days, but also too not being able to interact as much with their friends as they would normally would if things were prior to the pandemic. So as far as I'm concerned, the class of 2020, even the class of 2021, these kids persevered better than anybody.
Yes, they have. A lot of credit, especially the kids that are done their jobs with good grades, and because it's going to be tough. You go to college, how your freshman year is like a new ball game, and it's going to be a totally new ball game for a lot of these kids. They have the smarts, as you want to call them, academic smarts, but like I said, not getting in the day in, day out teaching. Freshman year could pose a challenge for a lot of these kids academically.
Yeah, it certainly can. You think about where the class of 2020 last year, they graduated, and it's still a pandemic year when they go into college their first year, so this past year. So it's been a lot, but once again, they've persevered. These kids are continuing to persevere, and I know for Jack and I, we're excited to see what this class, like the previous class before, what they're going to do. Like not only just with military, but a lot of these kids, who's going to school to study, architecture, who's going to be an engineer, who's going to look to work in medicine, who's going to work in science, who's going to be the future teachers, who are going to be the future
mechanics,
the mechanics, who will be the future athletes. It's going to be really exciting to see what this class is going to do.
Yes. And remember it. They had some hardships, but they had some enjoyable times, and they did have a prom, I understand, and I guess there was no dancing, I understand, but they did have a nice prom. Wood Creek.
Okay.
And basically dressed up and talked most of the night. And walked around, and at least I can remember the prom night, like I said. So
yeah, prom, certainly one of many special things that happen throughout the course of a senior year, and it's, I'm sure, like we keep talking about, hopefully that when they plan some 5, 10, 15, 20-year reunions, they can talk about, what was once was, and then continue to look forward to what the future may bring.
yeah, if I'm still around here in 5 years, I may. Who's ever in charge of athletics at that time? I know Mr. Krisak is thinking about retiring in the future. But, it's him or someone else. Maybe the 5th reunion for these kids. It would be nice to announce the senior football players from both schools 5 years later on the field before the game.
I mean, look,
the seniors might appreciate that.
One of my favorite moments was always seeing though I didn't get a chance to come home, but just listening and hearing about the replay game.
Yes.
That was fun.
That was fun. It was like 95-degree high humidity, and I was on the sidelines. What you do now, and I was told I could do anything I wanted, but I couldn't interview Peyton Manning or Eli Manning because Gatorade there was a contract with Gatorade.
Yeah. So I sheepishly just said, during one of the timeouts, I just said, I Peyton. He said, hi back. Of course, Peyton Manning, who at the time was the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, and Eli Manning, the quarterback of the New York Giants. And to me, it was always fitting. Eli coached, the Jersey team, and Peyton, of course, with Coach Easton. And
Kyle Geiger threw a touchdown pass.
I was about to say, Mr. Geiger, I remember he threw a touchdown pass.
Mr. Ordway wasn't cleared to play. From the 93 team, Scott was a starting quarterback and Kyle was the backup. But Scott had a knee problem, so they wouldn't clear him to play. And that day, Phillipsburg persevered. Had Mike Lorca, who was one of the best receivers in Phillipsburg history. He just had a field day on the Easton secondary. And Lane Son caught the touchdown pass. It was a thing of beauty, and Kyle will never forget that one. Like I said. And that just shows you the fabric of the community. That have 15,000 fans show up for a game 15 years later. Between the two communities. That was an awesome day. So, students are still standing around. They're still looking to eventually make their way towards their seats. The band knows having a really good time. Yeah. They're really kind of getting into a normal routine out there, and the band is tremendous as always. And so with the students continuing to make their way in, they're behind Jack and I, kind of coming up from the back field, from the bottom parking lot, and as they are walking their way up and looking to make their way towards the seats. And I know we're a little behind schedule right now, but we are still hopefully we are going to get going here in just a little while. Yeah, they plan to have this last till 9 o'clock, so hopefully we'll have it done by 9 o'clock. And have the ceremonies and be through with it. So we're not in no hurry because it's a beautiful night here. There's a few raindrops falling on our head. Good song, by the way. Yeah, raindrops keep falling on my head. Don't want to hear me sing. No, we don't want that. Good thing the band just picked up, right? Can we pick up the band or not? Can we take notice of that? Let's see. Yeah. So what we'll do here real quickly is we'll let the band kind of take over here, folks. And Jack and I are still going to be on, but we'll come back at 20 after to catch you up, update you. So we'll let the band take over here. So no need to run away from your radios, folks. Let's allow the Easton Area High School Band to take over. Here they are.
it just keeps going, right? So this is all my stuff. I didn't get anything from Don, but I left the space. All right, so then I'm gonna say both of your. Okay, so your speech is right here. I put you guys all in the front.
You're good.
You can if you want to get electrocuted. All right, Rovers, if you could please find your seats as quickly as possible. We are waiting for a couple more graduates, but if you could please find your seats. Yeah, I don't think the main guys are going to work on it. I thought they were calling for it. It's going to be Dom, then Kayla. It's going to be Dom, then Kayla, then Brandon, then Kara, then you. Yep. All right, good evening, Rovers. If you could please take a seat at this time. Good evening, class of 2021. As a principal of Easton Area High School, it is my honor to welcome you to the 165th commencement ceremony. Tonight we graduate nearly 650 students in the class of 2021. Like many of your peers across the country and the world, you have navigated a very unconventional path to arrive at this important event in your lives. Today, we honor your perseverance and determination as you've endured the many challenges and hardships brought about by a global pandemic. On behalf of the staff and administration, we thank you for your flexibility and your understanding, which you have shown right down to the bitter end as we prepared for this very event. I'd like to quickly recognize members of the Easton Area School District Administration, faculty, and staff who have supported the class of 2021 through these unprecedented times. Mr. Shando and the members of the Easton Area School Board, thank you for your support of this event and the class of 2021. Mr. Pipperato, Mr. Ziadik, Ms. Piazza, Dr. Burris, Mr. Simonetta, as well as the directors and supervisors of the Easton Area School District, we thank you for your leadership and your guidance as we've navigated the unknown. Your class advisor, Mrs. Kristen Schumer, student council advisors, Ms. Morgan Hammerstone and Mrs. Mally Yoblonsky Culpepper. Honored guests of the class of 2021, Mrs. Deidre Hakimi. And a special thanks to Mrs. Penny Myers, 12th grade administrative professional, for all of her hard work. I'd like to personally thank the members of the Easton Area High School administrative team Interim 12th grade principal, Mrs. Heather Gomer. 11th grade principal, Mr. Scott Breidinger. 10th grade principal, Mr. Jeremy Poliskowitz. 9th grade principal, Mr. Andrew Menard. Deputy principal, Ms. Jeanette Cassis. Supervisor of Educational Technology, Mrs. Jamie Arntz. And Supervisor of Special Education, Mrs. Candace Davis. I cannot thank this team enough for all of their efforts this school year. And I'd also like to recognize all senior members of the Student Council. I want to thank you on behalf of your classmates and the administrative team here at the high school. You've done an outstanding job despite difficult circumstances. Your leadership is much appreciated. I'd also like to recognize the amazing Easton Area High School teaching staff and the over 200 district employees that volunteered to make this night a memorable event for the class of 2021. We are extremely thankful for your assistance and very happy that you are here to celebrate with us tonight. In your program, you will notice an American flag next to students who have enlisted in the United States Armed Forces. These students also had an American flag displayed on their vehicles for tonight's procession. On behalf of the class of 2021 in the Easton Area School District, we would like to thank all of those who have served and those who are currently serving our country. Thank you for your sacrifice. Also in your programs, members of the National Honor Society are indicated with an asterisk next to their name. Scholarships and awards have also been printed in the program and sent out to local media outlets for publication. If you look closely at your program insert, you will see literally hundreds of scholarships and monetary awards. This year's local scholarships totaled more than $110,000. These awards and scholarships are a testimony not only to the hard work and dedication of the students, but also their families and their teachers. Congratulations to all of you, and a special thank you to the sponsors of these much appreciated dollars. On behalf of the Easton Area School District and the class of 2021, I would also like to give a special thank you to the Easton Area High School retirees that will be leaving us this school year. Nurse Judy Koretz, paraprofessional Irene Vogel, and administrative professional Mrs. Colleen Hahn. We thank you, and we wish each of you a happy and long retirement. At this time, it is my pleasure to call Dominic Falcone, Student Council Exec Board President, to provide the welcome.
Good evening, Rovers. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dominic Falcone. I'm the Executive Board President, and I've been given the pleasure to open graduation today. I'm here to give the following message. We are graduating. It seems only fitting to deliver that to the camera eye of a camera in front of me, but it's something we've all been forced to stare into for the past year and a half. And I believe it's quite ironic how a year where we've all literally been forced to be apart is the same year where we've all grown closer together. But I'm not here to sit and dwell on the adversities we've faced. You've all heard that plenty of times, and we all know the successes that will come out of that. I'm here to focus on what we did do. We survived 720 days of the treacherous morning hallway hike, filled with gossip, screams, and full-out brawls, all at 7:20 in the morning. We endured the great rule crackdown of 2020, which removed our privileges to our beloved phones. We completed hundreds of hours flying through Zello assignments, which told me I was to be a cosmetologist. We took 3 whole fitness gram pacer tests. And we graduated yet another class that was 4-0 on Thanksgiving against our rival school across the river. Yes, that's not a mistake, 4-0. 2 victories our first 2 years, another our junior year, and another dub shortly thereafter the conclusion of our junior year game. All these things and more that we've encountered these past 4 years speak for our strength. Not even the full force of COVID can take us down, because we were fortunate enough to have already been immunized after many shoulder-to-shoulder walks through the crossroads. I don't think any virus can touch us after that. But all jokes aside, I believe that this high school has made us strong. No class, and this is fact, has had to deal with what we've been through. As parting words, I would like to say, remember the relationships you've made in your life to this point, the good and the bad. For those are the people that have made you the person you are. I would like to thank you all for an absolutely amazing 4 years of my life. I am a product of my school and the people around me. I could not be where I am without every single one of you, and I will never forget you. As a word of advice, please don't take any moment for granted. You only get one life. Enjoy it to the fullest. Don't take any moment for granted. So, class of 2021, I will now join you all in the celebration of the strongest class to ever walk the halls of Easton Area High School. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Dom. The class will now be addressed by 2 of its peers, Kayla Moitoy and Brandon Cunard. Kayla?
Hello, my name is Kayla Moitoy. It is an honor to be speaking with you tonight, which was made possible by Easton administration, local municipalities, and volunteers who put this evening together. Class of 2021 graduates, congratulations. On day 1 of high school, we were told how fast high school would pass. I thought people were crazy to say that 4 years would somehow pass like the blink of an eye. Well, pandemic aside, they were right. We spent 720 school days with friends, laughing, crying a lot, and making memories during Turkey Week and other occasions. We thrived in sports, clubs, and other extracurricular activities. We hustled. We had 720 days to give up, but we didn't. Recognize and be proud that all that time, that grit, and that hard work has brought us to this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not say that high school has been easy. However, despite the adversity that our class has faced, we still excelled. We put in the hard work, and for that, we will achieve one of many life accomplishments tonight. Of course, none of this would have been possible if it were not for the exemplary role models in our lives. Teachers, thank you for being so patient with us and accepting our tear-stained homework and tests. Staff and administration, thank you for contributing toward the betterment of our school. Parents and guardians, I know you're out there. Thank you for consistently motivating us to keep moving forward even when we only wanted to sleep in. To all of these amazing adults who have played such pivotal roles in our growth into adulthood, thank you. Give them a much-deserved round of applause. Last but not least, students. I have always wanted to have a cliche moment where graduation speakers say, "We did it," and that moment will come. But on a more important note, our graduating class has faced a time that classes before us and perhaps classes after us may not be able to fully comprehend. Do not look back on these last couple of years and think poorly of them. Instead, remember that if you can go through a pandemic, you can do anything you want to do. My idol Michelle Obama once said, "Always stay true to yourself and never let what anyone else says distract you from your goals." My fellow peers, I encourage you to go out into the world being authentically yourself and use your goals to set new standards. Undiscovered does not mean impossible. Worry less about fitting into glass slippers and more about shattering glass ceilings. To the class of 2021, congratulations. We are here. We did it. Rover, out.
Thank you, Kayla. Mr. Kennard.
Hey guys. Okay. So, for everyone who doesn't know, I'm Brandon, and I would like to start us off with a lovely quote. The magical, the mystical, and the marvelous Megan Thee Stallion once said, body, crazy, curvy, wavy. Big, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so in all honesty, she spoke with true artistry. And I'm saying this because I know some of you are now singing this in your head, so please put that on pause while I speak my truth. Without saying too many profane statements or extravagant words, girl, we just did that. In the middle of a global pandemic, the class of 2021 is graduating high school. I would personally like to give a shout out to all of our frontline workers who are continuing to risk lives to save another. All of you doctors, surgeons, nurses, and heroes, past, present, and future, have our utmost respect and admiration. I myself cannot thank you enough. To all the teachers and faculty who dealt with our historic teenage problems and setbacks amidst a major global pandemic, thank you for giving us a space where we can vent. These past 4 years have seen a lot of tears flowing onto some desks, but it's okay because mental health is extremely important. So thank you for letting us have our sob fest, especially Miss Sue, because my tears are still actively trembling off of her desk. To my friends, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you, besties. Oh my God. I could not have gotten through this. Thanks. I could not have gotten through this ever-evolving, catastrophic 4-year period called high school without any of you. You all continuously make me laugh, and sometimes I do pee my pants, but it's okay, because we've all had our fair share of urination during laughter. And on top of this, thank you to everyone who has not only accepted, but respected me as the actual human being, since I am, plot twist, a proud gay man. Oh my God, thanks. Okay, so now you have been hearing and are going to hear some amazing speeches featuring some positive and motivational quotes that tell stories and literature cliches about how this chapter is over and that we're all going on successful paths in life. With all of that being said, and as nice as it is to hear as we sit in our cap and gowns in this beautiful weather, now it's Brandon's turn to add to this list. And in the words of the esteemed Frances McDormand, if I fall over, pick me up because I have some things to say. I, Brandon Michael Kennard, am here to make a statement. To all of the people who have been silenced in life, to all of the people who are told to keep quiet and just sit back, to all of the people who are treated less than by society, keep fighting that good fight. We are seniors in high school in the grand old year of 2021, where change seems to be far away, but it is not impossible. That horizon is upon us as we set off on this next voyage in our lives. The trailblazers before us did not put up a darn good fight just for us to settle with what is given. Oh, no. Mm-mm. We are far from that, and at least I am. Our voices matter, and here's why. A woman's voice shall not be silenced due to the power to actually have control of what they do with their bodies, what to wear, and who to love. A person of color's voice shall not be silenced due to the power to actually achieve equality and destroy those disparities that are being neglected today. A stereotype does not define who any one person is. An LGBTQ+ member's voice shall not be silenced because we have the power to love who we want to love, regardless of the sex, gender, or identity. To the women, to all of the women, you are powerful and you are not inferior. To all people of color, you are visible, not silenced. To all of the LGBTQ+, you are queens, kings, and royal deities if I've ever seen one. To every person listening, let your voice speak freely. You are not to be shut down. We are celebrated in this time of accomplishment. Not to mention that every single person looks pretty dang good while doing it, if I say so myself. Oh, hot girl summer came to play, and let me tell you. I'm going to miss those shut-down bathrooms by the lunchroom. Oh, after people were having their quote-unquote smoke sesh. I'm going to miss strutting down the hallways with my Starbucks because, well, what else do people expect from me? And I'm going to miss Mr. Falcone slamming that door shut to give us a wake-up call and refer to us as teenage animals in our teenage wasteland. All while telling us to go forth and conquer, quite literally. And finally, I'm going to miss Mrs. Schumer and Miss Capici, an iconic, life-changing, legendary duo. Now, onto a bigger part of my life. And yes, I will call it that chapter. I'm so sorry. Maybe I'll be crying in front of the Washington Monument when I do become president. But who knows at this point? As this speech comes to a close, I have one more thing to say. I promised my dear friends Paige Kane and Selena Turner, hey queens, that while at our middle school lunch table, that I would be doing my signature death drop at graduation. But unfortunately, I am on the bleachers. So unfortunately, I cannot. But I do have a short lyrical verse that is up to par by the one and only Queen of the Barbs, Nicki Minaj. Goes a little something like this. This one is for the girly gays and days with the boomer system, top-down AC with the coolest system. When we come up in the club, we will blazing up. We got stacks on deck and we raising up. I'm here, I'm queer, and get used to it.
Thank you, Brandon. At this time, the Easton Area High School Concert Choir will perform See You Again, conducted by Mr. Peter Deschler and Mr. John Shalanskis.
love will never be lost. And when brotherhood comes first, and that line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn. And that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. Remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you standing there by my side. And now you're gonna be with me for the last ride. Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go. And every road you
Thank you. It is now my honor to present the class of 2021 salutatorian, Kara Niem.
Hey y'all, the cap didn't make it. So a lot has changed since this class first walked into Easton Area High School. For one, our favorite K100 vending machines have disappeared. We don't have them anymore. Lunches became mixed some time ago, and y'all put up a fight. I remember that petition. And the senior lot became just a regular lot. And scholarship became an annoyance, hall passes became a thing of the past, and then we got a really extended 2-week break from school, and suddenly our senior year flashed by on a screen. And despite all of this, we've made it here today. We've made it to the end of this crazy road trip, and we're ready to start our next adventure. Congratulations, y'all. The next one won't be the same, nor will it be easy. There will be new challenges and new people, new problems and new places. There will be new risks to take and opportunities to flourish. But we all know this already. You don't need me to tell you that. And I know that we'll face those challenges head on, befriend those new people, solve those problems with the creativity and ingenuity that got us there in the first place. And before I finish, I just want to take a moment and thank you all for being here and supporting the class of 2021. I would also like to extend a special thank you to the teachers, staff, and family members who have helped to make this crazy year just a little bit better. We all really appreciate everything that you've done. And to all my fellow classmates out there, it's been an amazing journey with you all. I wish you all the best wherever you go next, and good night, goodbye.
And the class of 2021 valedictorian, Samyukta Niraj.
Hi, everyone. So, like our salutatorian, my cap didn't make it. So, first I want to say that I would not be here without all the support from my teachers, my counselors and advisors, the librarians of Easton, my friends and family. You all have been my biggest cheerleaders and pillars of guidance. There are not enough words in the English language to convey my gratitude for all you have done. You all have made high school such a wonderful and memorable time. Speaking of memories, I would like to take a moment to reflect on our high school years. Whether it was Shakespeare Fest, homecoming, or Friday night football games at Cottingham. We all have such great memories at Easton. One of my favorites is from the orchestra and band trip to Florida last year. I remember watching the ball drop on New Year's Day as we all jumped for joy and celebrated. What a year we were going to have, we all thought. Needless to say, 2020 was not what we expected. I'll acknowledge the elephant in the room. We as a class have been through so many challenges. In freshman year, we faced fears of school shootings after Parkland. Then, we went and are still going through a pandemic. We saw racial injustices. We witnessed a Capitol riot. But you know what? I think that we are the strongest, most resilient, and most amazing class coming out of Easton because of it. When faced with adversity, we have come out strong on the other side. We are not just students, we are activists. When we witnessed the Parkland tragedy and the crimes against George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, we rose up together and marched to protest violence and injustice. We not only ask for change, but we make it. And you know why we're so strong? Because we are a family at Easton. A family bonded by our differences, not our similarities. Easton has taught us that we can be from any place under the sun: Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Indigenous, but we are all part of one community. We know that diversity is our strength, and know that strength from diversity is what this world needs. I know each and every one of you is destined to do great things. And as we move beyond high school, I urge you all to continue being your amazing selves. Congratulations to all of you. Before I go, I would like to leave you with one last quote from football coach and government and politics teacher, Mr. Falcone. Class of 2021, go forth and conquer.
Congratulations to Samyukta and Kara for outstanding academic achievement. At this time, the Easton Area High School Band will now perform Escorpión, conducted by Mr. Christopher Ballantyne. Thank you, band and Mr. Ballantyne. At this time, Alicia Rodriguez, the senior class president, will provide the closing remarks, followed by the alma mater.
Hey guys, it's a little hard to see up here, so just don't mind me if I mess up. That's okay. Hi everybody. My name is Alicia Rodriguez, and I have had the honor to serve as this year's class president. My fellow classmates, look at you all. We all kind of look like nuns right now, but hey, we still made it and we look pretty good. We only arrived here 4 short years ago, and now it is already time to leave and continue our new journey. It feels like yesterday that we were shy freshmen roaming the halls because we didn't quite know where the B-wing was. Looking clueless and up to the upperclassmen, we soon figured it out. Now we are the upperclassmen, the seniors here to graduate and move forward in the world. Yet at this pivotal moment, we can't help but look back. To our teachers, coaches, faculty, administration, and community, thank you for so unselfishly sharing your time and motivating us during this unexpected year. You have dedicated so much time and hard work to allow us to enjoy our high school years and give us events to look forward to. We couldn't be more grateful. I'll certainly miss Mrs. Schumer's kindness and laugh, Mr. Falcone telling us teenage animals to go forth and conquer, the many conversations shared about life with Mr. Ballantyne, Mrs. Egbert's positivity, Mrs. Mott Savage's enthusiasm, and Merle's sense of humor. I know I will definitely miss Jude Liot yelling, "Buongiorno, Principessa," every time he walks into the room. For those that don't know, that means good morning, princess in Italian. Thank you to our families for supporting us and putting the many yard signs in our yards. I'll always be able to tell where a graduate lives. To the class of 21, we made it. We are here together, and we are proud of that. To think 4 years ago, we didn't know the traditions and memories made here would last a lifetime. The hardest part of this year was working with Executive Board President Dominic Falcone. The Army vs. Navy rivalry here really played a big part, but just kidding, Dom. I think we were a great team. Though, we all know our biggest game was the Easton Peeber game, which will always be an unforgettable memory to go down in history. This year, we had a lot to learn, but one thing we always understood was to support each other through thick and thin. We have adapted to staying distant but close at heart. Never lose focus of yourself and the important relationships in your life. Live with no regrets, and most simply, stay true to yourself. As you live your life on this beautiful earth, don't forget the lessons you learned here. These are just some of the many life lessons I have learned here at Easton Area High School that have been more valuable than my academics. Through the adversity faced, the laughs, smiles, little sleep, and cries shared, I couldn't ask for a better class. So thank you to the class of 21 for allowing me to serve as your class president, but most importantly, allowing me to be a part of such an extraordinary group. Now, will the class of 2021 please rise for a group selfie, and followed by the playing of our national anthem. Ready? Oh, I dropped my phone. Okay, we did it. We tried it. Now for the playing of our alma mater. Will the class of 2021 please move your tassels from right to left or to the opposite side that you have them on? Class of 2021, you may now toss your caps and congratulations.
Congratulations, Rovers, and best of luck in the future.